official language?
What you mean?
When have you ever gotten something in the mail or something that you needed to do and it wasn't in English?
Right.
What part of the U.S. has not speaking English? Has speaking
Help you.
English not helped you? When has
Right.
it prevented you from getting something done? So therefore, it is the de facto everything, the Constitution, everything is in English in this language. Therefore, it is the unofficial official language. So you don't need them to make it an official language, and it steps on freedom of speech.
You think so? You think
Sharon, real quick, I personally have like this computer desk. Yeah, when I got it, I needed help. Oh no, could you bring me the toast and eggs, please? Thank you. When I actually ordered this desk, you know it wasn't German.
I didn't
I don't know why. It was in German. I didn't
Did
know
they have the
what.
pictures?
Probably the manufacturer.
Yeah,
is
I had to
German.
go on the pictures. Yeah, I had to go by A, B, and C and connect shit. Yeah, I couldn't read nothing. When I got my bonsai plants, it was all in Asian. I don't know which one, but it was.
even though they sung it to American, right? So yeah, that's why I don't understand. I think English
You
being
just realize that a manufacturer having their documentation not in English is not going to change just because the English becomes the official language of the U.S. Correct? You're ordering from a foreign manufacturer, not from an American. The law doesn't impact them unless they choose to bite the cost of printing the material in English.
But I do believe by making it official that we have our own language, it does make things a little bit more.
So why does the U.S. not have its own language currently? Like, in what way, demonstratively, can you show that the U.S. does not have its own language?
It was just written that way that we did not have our own language. Right? It wasn't we didn't. When you look up, when you
Tierney, you're echoing so bad.
When you so when you look up the official language in other countries, it says it's official language.
Yeah, well, so I get that.
Been happening. I think it's just fair for people to say, "Hey, look, this is an English-speaking country." Hey,
but it's already de facto known as that. So why doesn't? And again, how is it not a freedom? How is it not a freedom of speech? That the First Amendment says the government shall not interfere with the freedom of speech. How is establishing an official language not interfering with the freedom of speech?
Because you could still speak your language, right? But it doesn't make it but us having an official language, and let people from that's out of our country know that, hey, you need to come and learn how to communicate with Americans since you want to be here in America.
There's plenty of Americans that speak a different language besides English, for one. For two, an establishment of a language is a conflict of freedom of speech, just like an establishment of religion would be a issue of freedom of religion. Just because you can be another religion doesn't make the establishment of a religion not a conflict of the Constitution, the First Amendment.
So you think so your position is that having official language is against the Constitution of freedom of speech?
Oh, it's 100% against it.
Huh. And go ahead, so explain to me why, and I'm going to bring Aaron in there as well. Go ahead.
Because the purpose of the First Amendment is that the government doesn't take a stance on any of those things. So freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the government's not supposed to take a stance, i.e. an establishment of a religion, an establishment of speech. They're not supposed to take a position on it. It's supposed to be completely neutral.
Interesting.
That's why if you look, when the country was first founded, the federal government cannot establish a religion, but there was plenty of states that established a religion because the first 10 amendments didn't apply to them, so they could establish a religion in their state.
Okay, that's interesting. I gotta think about that. What? Welcome to the show, Aaron. Good day, sir. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Establishing an official language, I'm afraid that it would set a precedent, right? That would violate freedom of expression, which is your freedom to speak whatever language you choose. Once you make something official, then you can place parameters around the use of other languages. I'm just afraid of that precedent. Also, the problem I have with that is naming it. What are we going to name it? Because it's called English, which is derivative of a country not across the pond. You know, it's not here. We would call it American. it's kind of a dialect of English spoken in England. It's different, but it's the same. The syntax is the same. The lexicon is largely the same. The grammatic rules are the same. But there's enough of a difference that you would maybe have to rename it. And now you're conflicting with Australia, which is the same story in another direction.
Wow.
But I'm not interested in any other language, especially Asian languages. I'm not fluent, but can basically speak Japanese and Korean. Mandarin and Cantonese is a total effing mystery to me. And let me tell you, they may be cool languages. You do not want to try to have to read or write it. It is the lexicon, the syntax, everything about it is foreign. Everything is backwards. Even the things your tongue, teeth, and lips have to do to make certain sounds, it's wild. English isn't the simplest language on the planet, but it's complex enough to be colorful and diverse, but simple enough to where if you can't get this, then you probably got major issues. That Asian stuff, man, forget about that.
Problem with more than anything with American language. The reason why, because I speak to a lot of foreign people. It's because we have so many like double entendres. We have so many like ways that we finesse, and we use the same words, right, for multiple, like pool. We can go shoot pool, or we can swim in a pool. They don't get that. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's not even talking about homonym. But yeah, you're right.
That's the same thing everywhere, though, bro. That's the same thing everywhere.
No, but I just want to land it though on what he's saying in respect to you, bro. I think the main thing when it comes to that is I've always been curious, to what you said as far as the Japanese and not need to learn it. My sister moved to Japan. She's married. She moved to Japan. I don't know why, but she's there now. And I always wondered, why are we learning all these other languages where here it is? Once upon a time, I remember as an 80s baby growing up, I was in school and I had to learn something called cursive. But come to find out, I can't use it on no formal documentation. So why am I learning another language and I can't even learn what it is that y'all told me from the jump, which was cursive? The only time I use that is in my signature when signing a check.
Trade and commerce mixed with technology. Yeah. Everything being on a QWERTY keyboard.
It's competition. Other countries, especially in Europe, because they border so many different countries, they learn another language. So when we're talking about globalization and being competitive in the global market, you want to be able to be competitive with your peers from different countries. So if people in the UK are learning French and English, and people in Germany are learning German and French and English, they're learning 3 languages, they're learning 2, and people here aren't really learning. And plus, it's an elective actually, I think learning 4 languages is usually a prerequisite to graduation now. But it's just about being competitive and broadening people's basic understanding of things.
You're trying to do over 40, but to graduate, you don't need to have English, or you don't have to have another language, foreign language.
Okay, I didn't know I thought maybe it was a prerequisite for maybe it's state by state probably, but
I think if they are going to mandate something, it would be another language, not cursive. Because a global commerce plus QWERTY keypad equals forget cursive, learn Mandarin.
But they stopped teaching cursive anyway.
Yeah,
because there's cursive and learning another language are completely different. Cursive has no cultural history. It has no business. It has no country. It has nothing.
It's almost obsolete. It's almost obsolete for your signature.
How do you sign your name then? Yeah.
DocuSign.
That's it though. But
right,
DocuSign. You click a button and say yes, sign my initials or sign my signature everywhere in the box. DocuSign and biometrics.
Or you could just do an X. You can also do an X as well. Welcome to the show, Kev Stutters. Good day, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody doing on the panel?
We doing well.
I'm good. Glad to see you pop up. We saw you typing in the chat about how much you support Trump. So
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking.
Yes, I do support Trump. But I do want to say this: I don't support everything that Donald Trump does. I am just pro-America, and I want to see Donald Trump win because he is our president. And And you know, even if Kamala Harris was in office, I would want to see her win too because she would have been the president of America. But I wanted to speak on this whole official language thing, right? Donald Trump making English an official language of America. I absolutely love it because I don't know if anybody on here like has ever traveled abroad before, but whenever you go to these other countries, like you have to do as they do, right? Whatever. Like they don't make things very, very easy for you. Like if you do not understand the language, like and you don't try to actually learn it, then you just like assed out, bro. Like, like you have to learn some form of their language just so you can do like basic shit, right? Like like I think that it's bullshit that we have people here in America like who have been here for years, like and they can't speak a lick of fucking English. That shit is crazy. There is no way in hell that we will be able to go over to these or whatever other countries, like, and stay there for years, like, and not learn basic words. Like, that shit is crazy. Am I tripping?
Nah, you're not tripping.
Yeah, you are.
Travel. I've seen people will even have the little dictionaries, and we got all kind of apps and everything to make sure we can translate when we over there. So yeah,
Exactly.
You are tripping because I lived.
Hey, y'all got a disagreement? Go ahead, AR, state your claim.
Yeah, I lived in Germany for 2.5 years, and I don't know really any German besides
No
thank you
sprechen Sie Deutsch?
and you're welcome. No, I don't.
Wow.
I learned like
Yeah,
half
my
of
wife used to live in
picture
Germany.
dog.
So, yeah.
I lived in an American area of Germany because of military, but it's the same way that a lot of these immigrants, they come to the US and they live in pockets of where they're familiar with. So Chinatown, Koreatown, whatever town, they live in those areas and they know their language and they don't know much English, if any English at all. It's no different than me living in Germany.
That
is
doesn't matter though.
interesting.
What
That is
country are you in?
interesting.
What country are you in? Like you should
I'm in the
have a
US.
want. Like you should have a want and an actual need to learn at least the culture of where you're actually living at.
Germany's
Like you
disgusting.
should.
I can't stand that place.
One at a time.
Yeah, but you should have a want and an actual need to try to understand where you are living at. Like I'm not going to move over to China and just sort of ignore everything that they do over there just because I am an American. Like I am only going to eat at McDonald's in China and KFC just because I am an American. Like that's
Which
bullshit.
is disgusting.
I never had any
can
German
understand
food
what
when I
you're
was in
saying
Germany.
on that because honestly, like I'll say, just for example, like I told you, my sister moved to Japan, but before her and her husband, she's married, she moved to Japan. She just loves the lifestyle. She made sure she fluently learned the language before she went. She went over there. She speaks word for word. She can write it and everything. So she did make sure that she was all the way acclimated into it here before the best she could before she even went there. The customs, what you do, like for example, over there you don't talk on the subway, don't say shit. It's rude. You know, she learns all of that. You know, so I understand.
So my question to AR and Aaron: do other countries have official languages?
Yeah.
I don't care what other countries do because I believe in American exceptionalism. So it's kind of weird to hear people say they're proud to be an American and then they go, well, these other countries do it, therefore America should do it. American exceptionalism is the fact that we don't. Is the fact that we American exceptional, the U.S. exceptionalism is the fact that we don't do things the way that other countries do them. Okay. It's that we do them in a better way, we do them in a different way, and it makes us better for it. So whether that be with immigration, whether that be with birthright citizenship, bringing immigrants over, saying, hey, give us your unwanted and help, and they make the country better, or whether it be, hey, come over here, speak whatever language you want. We're welcoming to you because we believe in democracy, we believe in freedom, we believe in personal liberty, we believe in all these things because we are a better country than these other countries. And so to hear people talk about how, these other countries do it, therefore we should do it, it's pathetic and respectfully.
But nobody
is trying
to that real quick. Sharon,
hold on, let Mr. Seven. He wanna respond.
Yeah,
to
I want to say something to that briefly.
Mr. Seven. I got you.
Just briefly, and it's not even like a dispute. I just a response. So One thing I know about here in America, like there's many places, like from New York, DMV, you name it, all over. America's a melting pot. So like how you said, freedom of liberty. So guess what? If we're a melting pot and all these other cultures and people are here, then we need to give them the freedom of liberty if we standing on what we say we stand on. Now, I want you to pay attention. Most other countries, a lot of like the countries that we know of, that we speak of, it's mainly them. For the most part, of course, there's other people that move there, but a lot of other places you go to, it is easier for them to stick to their ways, whatever traditions, cultures, religions, and everything else, because it's primarily still all them there. We are so mixed up. What race, what culture is not here? So it makes it tough for us to really stand on what you're speaking about, although I get it. I'm not even disagreeing. I get exactly what you're saying, but that makes it tough when you got everybody in here and everybody's supposed to be included.
I think you just made my point for me.
Yeah,
we're a melting pot, and you're saying, do you think that if at the founding of this country, which they didn't do, and they spoke English just as well, and they also had a bunch of immigrants, Germans, Irish, all these other people that spoke different languages, they could have made English the official language if our founding fathers wanted it to be. They made freedom of speech, and they did not make
so that's not
English an official language too. No, you're making my point. The second half, you're making the point. The second half, which is calling the country a melting pot, as if the country would be a melting pot if English had been the official language and the official culture, because that would be the next step, right? It's not just language; it's also culture. Making those English the official language and or the official culture, as if this country would be the melting pot it is today if those things had been done in the past. And they wouldn't have been.
That's a good point.
All right, cool beans. Yeah, I think you like my actual point. And again, I wasn't disputing anything, but I was making a specific point to something I heard. I know I heard you say. That's all. But it's all right.
Equality?
Nah, it's all right, bro. Just rock out. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We be chilling. Rock out.
All right. Gad, Kev.
Man, look,
in there right after.
Listen, the majority of people in America speak English. Listen, look, I used to drive for Uber, right? Like, and I would pick people up, like, and I would be trying to actually talk to them, and they spoke no English whatsoever, right? Like, so there was this one time, like, this one lady, like, she had put in the address wrong or something like that on where she was going to. And I'm literally sitting in the car with this lady for 20 minutes because she can't speak any type of English. Like, and we just have no idea where she's going to. Bro, these people, like, you know, I get it. America is a melting pot, but these people have to learn how to say and do basic American things, bro. Like, nobody is trying to take away their culture or nothing like that, but they have to learn basic shit.
So that's fine that you believe that they have to learn, but do you believe that's constitutional that they have to learn it?
Even if it is, or it isn't, these people need to learn. If we go to their country, like, they don't give a fuck about no constitution. You need to learn it.
Yeah, so we see why he's a Trump supporter. We see it.
So Kev,
I am an American supporter, sir.
That was the main thing I was saying.
Okay, hold on. So this
was everything I was just saying. Okay, how he just said, real quick, Sharon, how he just said, if they're here, they need to learn it. My main point is, from what I'm hearing, is where it's too many cultures. Like, think about it. I mean, I graduated in 2000, and I remember even the two languages we had to learn in high school was French and Spanish. I remember those days. It's been a melting pot. That's my point. And I'm saying, if you go over other countries, it's primarily still them. So it's easier for them to stay in that mode than it is for us as Americans to stay in the mode in which AR you're speaking about, because of so many different cultures, bro. That's all I'm saying.
And so, but the problem is that what AR saying, he made a very good point, is that if we are supposed to be America first and everything is great, we are the greatest nation, why are we even concerned of what another country is doing if we are supposedly above these other nations? Also, the Cash App said, support. Get the lights up. Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate you. You always holding me down. Thank you so much.
Sharon, I got a question.
So we don't skip over it.
Hold on. Real quick. Before everybody jump in, I want to see if Aaron wants to respond to this as well, because I know he liked this conversation as well. Go ahead, Aaron, jump in, then we get back to AR.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really possible or feasible to have an official American language, but I do like the idea. It's not without merit entirely. It's just that there's really only two ways I believe that official languages are established. One, it's a unification of the native language, right? Like in China, you have Cantonese, Mandarin, like there's different dialects, you know what I mean? But there's a unifying language that is accepted across the entire country. Like same thing in Japan, you know, all these other countries have that. Or you were completely obliterated and your shit just got replaced by who came in your front door. Like those are the two ways that an official language, but because ours started out from a melting pot, there is no native language. No language here is native to this place. If it was, we would be sounding like Tecumseh, Allegheny. You know, it would sound, you know, wild. It's just not feasible. And even then, that's too fragmented. It's like African languages. But if you look at the country of Pakistan, they speak Hindi, they speak Urdu, they speak Arabic. But if I'm not mistaken, Hindi is the official language. Right, yep. Farsi, there you go. Exactly. Absolutely. But I believe Hindi or Arabic, it's one or the other, is the official language. But if you go over there, you got a lot to deal with. You know? This is not feasible here.
Real quick, Sharon, please.
Yeah, hold on one second. I wish Kev didn't drop. Hopefully he could come back. Hopefully
you see he dropped when he was like, who cares about the Constitution?
Welcome to the show, Ron Hotep. And also, I got a cash app. I got 5 on the coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much.
I want to ask you this question briefly, Sharon. I'm going to run to the restroom. And honestly, Brother Aaron, I actually am very intrigued to hear from you and Brother AR on this as well. So since we know we're a melting pot, right, and the official everything, do you all believe, because there are a lot of people who say, not to derail too much and still on course, there are a lot of people that say we are the highest of intelligence and everything because we're a melting pot, because we got a beautiful blending combination of all different cultures and everything from the world. That's what really gives us the edge. Do you believe that we would still be the most powerful nation that we are if we didn't have all these other cultures, if we were more like a Pakistan or something?
Yes.
Rock out.
No, I don't.
I do.
Okay, so let's go with Aaron's I do and AR's I don't, and then we'll see if Rob.
Well, just real quick before we hop on that, we saw that Kev was like, when you asked him,
Americans only, can we do it?
You asked Kev, hey, well, even if the Constitution says we shouldn't be, this is against the Constitution, do you think it should still be done? He said, even if, like, who cares about the Constitution? Let's just do it. As if the Constitution is not the supreme law of the land. And that's what I mean. Like, these Trump supporters don't give a fuck about the Constitution. They only care about their own ideas or selfish ways and what can be done through this guy. And it's pathetic. Like, I'm proud to be an American as you shit on the Constitution. What the fuck are you talking about? That's what being American means, is upholding the Constitution. You people discuss me.
Damn. Go ahead, Aaron. Woo.
I think we will be as powerful as we are now, or very close to it. I think the evolution toward that power would look different. But what gives us our power chiefly is the military or the strategic location, right? The 2 oceans has everything to do with it. 2 mountain chains has everything to do with it. What borders us to the north and south has everything to do with it. We're virtually isolated and untouchable from the world from attack, but we're also in a strategic position to launch attacks to anywhere in the world if need be. That in and of itself, it removes vulnerabilities that would prevent us from being powerful. Now, the economic piece would just develop out of that somehow, some way. I don't know what that would look like, but I think it would happen. Also, with what's under the ground here, it's diverse. You know what I mean? We're not just oil rich. We're not just gas rich. We're not just agriculturally capable. We have kind of a little piece of all the different climates to be doing a little bit of everything. We can grow a pineapple. We can grow an olive. We got oil in the ground. We can grow a grape. You know what I mean? We can mine coal. All that shit.
Agriculture. I got you.
Yeah.
All of it.
My bad, Aaron. Are you still going?
So, hold on. Okay, we need you to stop
here in Mississippi, and that would help internal transport for commerce, stuff like that. You know, the way ports are set up, it's just kind of a perfect storm of shit. You know.
Okay. Also, welcome, Rahotep. You want to speak to this conversation?
You
No,
know he's
I
gonna
don't have
speak
no
for like 30
comment.
minutes.
I don't have no comment, bro, because people. When I hear people say we are missiles, our military, are this and that, I don't have nothing to say about that because they won't even let our ass on the oil rig. So I don't even know what the hell people talking about.
Okay, so you all right? So you good for right now?
Y'all
Go ahead,
hear music?
Now I hear like a humming sounds like maybe somebody sound like wind.
Nah,
Sound like a fan.
it's probably silent driving, maybe, possibly. Go ahead, continue. What's your thoughts?
Might
Good
have
day,
noise
sir. How you
cancellation on
doing?
this.
What's up, man? What's up? What's everybody on the panel? Aaron, what's good, man? You need to come through. Aaron, you don't come through. You say you're gonna come through. I'm waiting on you, fam. I'm waiting on
I know, man. I'm in fucking Western North Carolina, like getting ready, getting to Kentucky here in a minute. Yeah, a couple
you.
weeks I'll be up there, man. We gotta do lunch.
All right, man, sounds good. But I'm going to have to agree with Aaron on this part because of our military. And one of the big things that happened throughout history was that, after during World War II era, Great Britain was like the protector of the world and stuff like that when it came to what they could do. But then the United States just kind of unilaterally, we just kind of like took that on. So now the rest of those European countries figure like, okay, we got big brother United States of America that's going to take care of us and protect us. So we don't need to spend as much money on defense. And they started to work on their social systems, their social programs, and all of this, free health care and free for the schools and free for colleges and things like that. In America, we didn't do that. We really doubled down on our defense. And right now, what's happening is that, United States of America have been trying to tell these European countries for a very, very long time now, you guys need to spend more money on defense, spend more money on defense. And some of them reluctantly didn't do that. Now it comes a time where, the president that we have now is basically saying like, you know what, we just gonna take care of our own. We ain't gonna worry about nobody else. So now that money that those European countries were supposed to spend on defense, that they worked on the social economic system of the citizens, now they're scared and now they're scrambling. Now they're trying to figure out a way like, okay, we got a long way to go. And as far as trying to catch up with the amount of weaponry that we're going to need to defend ourselves. And now everyone is kind of like going their own way because of the rhetoric that the president is talking. I think it's kind of unfortunate. I have a lot of cool Canadian friends, in Toronto and Montreal and Ottawa and things like that. And, Canada has always been an amazing ally to us. And for us to go to this point now where they're even kind of looking at us differently, it's really, really sad. I'm just a big believer
I love it.
Hey,
that we are stronger. We are stronger. We are stronger together. Right. And they have been, a really good ally to us, especially when it comes to protecting us from the North and also from the Arctic.
No, I love what Canada doing.
Hey, I would like to real quick because I gotta run to my door. I have a guest here real quick, but I'm still here, Sharon. I want to ask Brother Kasim, salute to you, brother, and Brother Aaron. So with you all's position, so you all say that we would be. So considering we all know that we do a lot of arms dealing with other countries and other nations, right? So again, if it's just us, I'm talking about strictly everything that we produce solely, everything is made in the USA. Would we still be as feared and as powerful and as resourceful as we are right now, considering we know it is because of all of the other resources that we have in combination? We are like a hybrid of what other countries wish they could be. I digress. My mic is muted. I can hear you.
Nobody afraid of the United States of America.
Nobody is right. They're not afraid of us because of our natural resources. They're afraid of us because of our weaponry.
Wait. Now I got to jump in here.
You asked Hotep if he wanted to talk, right? And he said no.
I was just naming what we are known for.
It's okay, one at a time. Ra, go ahead.
The question was to Kasim and Aaron. The question was to Kasim and Aaron.
Okay. I don't know where people. Hold on, Ra. We're gonna go Ra, Kasim, AR. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know where people getting their information from, especially black people, including ourselves in our military, our natural resources. We ain't got no damn natural resources. We're still trying to fight for the clones or the reparations and the concessions that they owe us and that they're due us. We keep acting as if like Andrew Air Force Base or Fort Bragg or Fort Benning, Fort Gordon is ours. Ain't our goddamn base. I wish the U.S. would try to make Canada the 51st state and increase the age on the draft and send some of these people that keep thinking they're part of this shit and send them over to Canada to fight the Canadians and see what British and see what the Swedish and the Danish do. America does not have any natural resources in the sense that they can put on the global market in exchange for equal fair trade for other goods that other countries have that we don't have, which is aluminum, copper, diamonds, gold. Look that's the whole thing with what's going on in Burkina Faso. U.S. don't have no real large gold deposits and aluminum deposits and copper deposits. Why we keep talking like this country has natural resources? Yeah, it has some coal, yes. In the Appalachians and Virginia, yeah, they have that. But they don't have something to scave off this. Right now, America is not the big bad dog, the big alpha dog on the global scene. China knows it, Russia knows it, Africa knows it, and also the Europeans know it. So I don't know what people need. They need to get their head out of the sand and stop thinking as if America, the great, the big, the bad, the brave. Nah, man, I don't believe that. And I spent 12 years in the military.
Okay, put a period on it. Put a period on it. All right. Gad Kassim, then we bring in AR.
I was in the military too, fam. I was stationed at the 101st Airborne Division, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Airborne Air Assault. My name is not Sam. My name not Sam, bro.
Sam, F-A-M. All right, Otep. I was in the military too. I was stationed at the 101st Airborne Division in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
And
right, I know the firepower that the United I know the firepower that the United States has.
I know too.
Let me try to clear this up. Hotep, do not interrupt Kassim. Nobody interrupted you. Let Kassim get his full thought out. We'll give you a chance to respond, but don't interrupt him while he is talking, please.
Please don't.
You know, you do have a point. The United States doesn't have that many natural resources and minerals and things like that. And what has other countries to be on pause with the United States is our military, our firepower, right? They understand, you know, the weaponry that we have. They understand that, you know, within 20 minutes of anywhere in the world that they can get touched. And that will kind of keep them on bay, particularly our amazing nuclear powered subs, right? We can park those at the coast of anybody and touch them within 20 minutes. That is our strong suit, and that is what gives us a little bit of leverage out of all of these other countries, fam, and why they stay at bay.
Thank you for that, brother Kassim. And I apologize we was cut off like that. But yeah, I appreciate you.
Hotep, would you like to respond? Or if not, we'll pass it off to
No, I'd like to respond to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because what he's basically saying in a nutshell, if you don't just like General Langley said, we want access. We want access to Africa. He's head of AfricaCon. So he said, we want access, telling Ibrahim Traoré, you don't give us access to your natural resources, particularly your gold deposits, we will bring hellfire down on you. You got to understand that America's, or what people call America, is not going to continue to just nuclear threat and agitate and undermine and overthrow sovereign countries just because it has weaponry, nuclear weapons. We already know that America is mad enough to drop atomic bombs, the first country in the history of nuclear weapons in mankind to drop bombs. But again, the global south is on the rise. Just recently, you had Chinese and Russian soldiers there in Burkina Faso as a buffer to protect the Burkinas in Burkina Faso under Captain Traoré. Matter of fact, I think his rank should be raised to General Traoré. So Michael Langley, Uncle Tom Langley, Virginia, has no damn business with his Negro foul face telling another nation, particularly another African nation, if you don't do this, we're gonna do that. I land.
Okay. You good, Kassim, or?
Oh man.
Next question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AR.
Well, Seven asked the question to Kasim and Aaron. So I don't know if Aaron wanted to answer. I don't know why. You asked Hotep if he wanted to talk, and he said no, and then he wants to start opening his mouth when someone directs a question to other people on the panel.
Listen,
So,
Punk.
Aaron, would you like to? And Kasim, don't go back and forth with this dude because he claims he served. He said he did 20 years. That was a lie. Now he's saying he did 12. Who knows if that's true? So really, don't go back and forth with the dude. He's like 75 years old. He doesn't really know what's happening. He maybe was a bit knowledgeable back in.
I'm 68 years old. I know how old I am.
Same thing. Yeah.
You're young punk ass. Punk ass. Shut your punk ass up. Shut your punk ass up. Won't you go serve?
All right, hold on. We having a good conversation. Let's keep it over the.
You're wet behind the ears, boy.
All right.
Remembers the question that Seven asked him, but if he wanted to respond to the question,
I got you. I'll try to reset it. Mr. Seven, do you remember the question that you had?
Yes. Basically, so to reiterate briefly, all right, so we can just keep it pushing. I appreciate everybody. So what I was trying to figure out is, so if it's just America, right? Like only us, and everything is USA made, truly considering we know that everything that makes us so big and powerful is the fact that I consider us a hybrid country. We're not a country where it's like 85 to 90% solely Americans. We got everything here. And I believe that is a large contribution as to why this country is as powerful as it is. So now if we remove that, like what really do you think would make us as powerful as we are now? You don't think that would be something that would take away from our power? That's all. It's just, what I mean.
So here's all right. So how are you really good at math?
No, I'm more of like a kind of English.
Okay, all right.
But
in mathematics, there's a concept called a vacuous truth. What that is when you make an if-then statement, a vacuous truth is the then part being true no matter what, because the if was never defined.
Okay.
I think what you're asking puts me in that situation.
Okay.
If Americans were only Americans, then, right, the rest is there. Here's the thing. Americans to be American is fundamentally melting pot. There is no culture, race, or origin of American to speak of that I can use to make that analogy, or that, to analyze what you're saying.
Not even native.
Right. So if you want to go down there, that's very tribal and fragmented. That's like saying African. Which country, right? And like so the way Native Americans, if it was just them allowed to thrive, the way this country would look would be it would be stratospherically different in ways I wouldn't be able to answer that. Number one. Number two, that would change the global arena. The global environment would be different. Because the Navy, the Spanish, French, and British not being here would have changed their naval course. That would have everything would have went wonky, bro. You know what I mean? The consumerism that is America today would have who knows what we would have looked like.
I really appreciate. I just want to say your educated humbleness of a response, bro. You didn't try to come off like you got all the answers. I love it when people know how to recognize that. Appreciate that. Rock out.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Welcome to the show, KT to go. What's your thoughts?
First of all, shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Cheers.
Well, I think I kind of want more response, I guess, what we were just talking about, because I don't know what the overall question would be, right? What you brought up, Sharon, myself. But to what 77 was saying, I believe Aaron is somewhat right, but he kind of skipping. It is an American culture. See, I call natives like indigenous people. That's what those people
Yeah.
are, in my opinion. I get they're the natives, but they're not Native Americans, because the Native Americans is white people who colonize and pillage shit. And that's pretty much the American culture.
Right. Well,
We
that you're
colonize, we
further
practice capitalism, which is essentially saying take advantage of people for profit. You know,
right. No, that's
that's
great.
the
What you're saying is great. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm bigging you up here. You're further expressing the complexity of the question. You know what I mean, and identifying why it's difficult to answer. No, you're 100% correct. It's just everything's so conflated. I don't know where to take that. You know what I mean?
no, I
So
agree.
thank you for even making it more clear.
You know what I find fascinating? I find fascinating, me personally, all right. So
What I
one who
find
likes to
fascinating is
study
what I
more
find
so of the like
fascinating.
geographic aspect of things. The fact is that like even if we say Pangea, like that's been multiple times over. The tectonic plates are continuously shifting. My point is that I know personally, like a lot of us know, we have been all over the world forever and a day. All right. So I always make sure I tap in and go back there. We have been everywhere since everywhere has been. Period. Right. So I know, and I'm really actually piggybacking a little bit off of what Brother Aaron and Brother KT, I guess, is saying right here, as far as like it is complex. And I asked the question for that reason, because it's something that's really difficult. Like we keep trying to narrow things down and make it just black and white. Nah, it's so many different layers. There's more layers than an onion. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
It's a great conundrum to ponder, right? Even if don't ever get the answer to that direct question, the things that you will discover just by pontificating about that is profound. You know what I mean? Like that's how we grow and evolve and understand. So it's worth food for thought, sure.
Yeah, and I think it's a very interesting time. I think to get back to the Canada, and they trying to work their way out of dealing with America so much right now. They're going to turn into Chinadia. They're going to deal with these other nations to deal with their imports and exports. I think that is kind of a scary thing, since we've been working with them lockstep for so long, and we've been good neighbors to them for a very long time. For us to just try to allow Donald Trump to turn them into something that they don't want to be and take over anything that they have. We cannot say that Canada doesn't have any resources, and then at the same time say we should turn him into a 51st state. Instead of him being a prime minister, he'd be a governor. That's insane to have that same conversation within one, and people on the MAGA side act like they don't understand that this is clearly a domino effect of what Donald Trump has been preaching and pushing for the last 3 months. This only took 3 months for him to turn a whole conservative nation into a liberal nation. 3 months. That's wild. And that's what we need to have a conversation about. And that's scary, in my opinion, because that now, what is going to show to nations that's across the water that, hey, if the neighbor could do it and stand up to the so-called bully, because they paint him out to be a bully.
Yeah, I've been pointing out for the last month or so. People don't get like on this political scale. America's a joke. Like nobody cares about us no more. We don't understand that yet, because we're Americans, right? We think we're like the epicenter of the world, which we kind of are. Like, don't get me wrong. Here's the honest truth. Like, what Kasim, I believe your name was, he's saying is correct. The military power simply gives us enough to be able to threaten people. However, what's happening is China, man. See, China, Russia, I fuck with Russia. And I know this might sound crazy. I fuck with Russia, bro. Russia ain't never came over there to Africa and did niggas wild over there. Them Chinese motherfuckers do, though. I don't trust China. China always on some bullshit, for real. But they know how to play the game financially. We taught them the game like some dumbasses. And now they're using it against us, because guess what? They don't have an open fucking economy. You can't go to China and just say, hey, I'm going to make billions over here and get the fuck out of China. China don't allow that. They play their systems, games, government different. It's still a dictatorship. People forget that, but it's still a dictatorship, for sure.
Okay.
No, you can go over there and make billions.
You cannot take your
Absolutely, you
money
can.
out of you cannot take your money out of their system the same at all.
Yeah, no, you can't take. Wait,
Not no
China.
billions.
Why do corporations go over there for the cheap labor?
A corporation is an
Why?
individual.
Yeah, you have to make a trade to get over there. Elon
Okay,
Musk,
no
a
one,
prime
no one.
example. You know what BYD is?
Yeah, no, I didn't say wouldn't come without a cost. What I'm saying is you can go over there and get loaded.
Oh yeah, if they let you in, then you're gonna very much pay. Like I said, I'm gonna give you a
You
prime
heard me,
example.
boy.
Elon
Stop it now.
Musk. Okay. Elon Musk, in order for him to get his factories over there, you know what he had to do? Give up all of Tesla's technology. BYD is now the second fastest growing fucking car company in the world. Thanks to
You got an
Elon
Amazon account?
Musk giving this
You
shit
got
up
an
to
Amazon
China.
account?
Because they understand how we play that game like some dumbasses.
You got
and then they use
an
it for
Amazon account?
self-gain. Look at Jack Ma. If you think that you can get out here and just you're gonna make money in a certain way and do certain things, no, look at Jack Ma.
All right, so
Jack Ma.
KK,
That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you if you have an Amazon account.
Huh?
Do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Don't let him
Buy
drop
a camera battery from Amazon.
Yeah.
Tell me the name written in the seller on the receipt. Tell me the place of origin where that battery came from.
Oh yeah, that bitch gonna come from somewhere in China, probably.
You know what else? Order a phone protector. Order a screen protector. Order a computer.
Yeah.
Go on Amazon and order your wife a damn makeup set.
We
Order
already
some
know
shoes.
that. Okay, let's move on.
It's Chinese, man, and Jeff Bezos eclipsed Jack Ma with the same formula. Amazon ain't Alibaba. Alibaba is the moon to Amazon's planet.
Oh no, you know Alibaba got
That's
seized
crazy.
about 5 years ago by the Chinese government because Jack Ma
Now
said
that's
something.
crazy.
Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and Jack Ma is Chinese. Jeff Bezos, is not.
So what does that mean?
That's around the time
You
they took
Americans
over.
can go over there
About
and make
before
billions.
COVID.
You can't make billion. You can't bring $1 billion as a sole proprietor or LLC back from China. There's mechanism in place to bring back that revenue. Sharon, how much of U.S.'s debt does China own? Would you say?
I'm not sure. 20%.
Okay, 20%. So that 20%, if they just drop that quarter or 20% back on the global market and said we're not going to back it, it'll collapse the U.S. dollar overnight.
What?
No.
He's right.
The backing for U.S. is, see, this is what people don't understand about economics.
No, hold up. Say what you said one more time.
I said they're doing the bailout when Obama was president. A lot of that bailout money came from the debt that the U.S. owed that they said that we're going to pay this to these companies because they were too big to fail. But once they paid that bill, there was interest on that money that China backed. So if China dumped that 20% back on the global market and says we can take that loss, we don't need that. We don't need that. And we don't need the interest on that debt. It will collapse the U.S. economy. See, people making up these things as if America's economy in all this, and when they might have to go to the nuclear option or go to the warfare option. But at the same time, because we're in America, we got to get off this soapbox of thinking America is like the way America was when General MacArthur was the Allied commander and Eisenhower and all this. Those days don't exist anymore. Trump has U-turned even on the tariff war. Even he has the lowest ratings of any president in the history of the United States. He, just like Sharon said earlier, he even defied his own damn record.
Can we be concise? Because you moved into presidential ratings, and no one has addressed what you said yet.
Well, presidential ratings and the ability for the U.S. citizenry to have in the faith in which the direction of the country is moving and how stable the three branches of government are has a lot to do with economical, political stimulation and stability. That's what it has to do with it.
Yeah, but you say a lot and no one can address anything you say, and then everything that comes afterward is propped up on something that people might not agree with.
Well,
and then you evolve the conversation.
I'm not asking
but you evolve the conversation away from what people would like to address.
I'm not asking anyone to agree with what I say.
But just to let people address you if you want to have that, so we could all have a conversation with each other. We all want to have the conversation. Go ahead, Aaron, and we will just have enough. Go ahead, Aaron.
So I'm not trying to get anybody to agree. I'm just saying if you want people to accept what you're saying, the premise has to be understood. And so to say China not acknowledging our debt would collapse our economy, that doesn't even that's worse than a vacuous truth.
I didn't say acknowledging. I said China's financial instrument is propping up U.S. currency through trade, through all the goods that are made in. You can't even pick up a pencil that says made in America.
How would China collapse it? That doesn't make sense. Do you know why? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, tell me why.
No, it's like it would create like a global nuclear war, except in commerce. Here's the thing: why is China powerful and big? Because they produce at a cheap rate, but what they produce has to be consumed by someone. That someone is us. Number one. Number two. China would have to turn loose of ownership of all the real estate that they have in the American and on American soil and other territories that are controlled by American militaries.
Have they did it?
No, that's the point. They can't collapse anything because they would go down with the ship. If they sink this ship, there's a vortex that's going to go behind the American sunk ship, and China is getting sucked right into it.
So yeah, that might be, and we might go along with it.
No, if they sink us, they're done. Tomorrow, they sink us tonight, they don't have breakfast in the morning.
We love China. We can hear it in your voice. Yeah, as Aaron was saying.
I love
Hold on, Hotep. Let's see.
I love Canada.
I got you, Hotep. Go ahead, hey y'all, KT to go, and then we have it right back open. And I'm clearly Hotep want to answer to both of y'all. So
he wants to talk. Yeah, I'm not sure why we entertain him, but as Aaron was saying,
your proper speaking, Uncle Tom.
Oh my God!
So as I was saying, if the U.S. goes down, we're the largest consumer. We send so much money to China that their entire economy depends on us buying things from them. There's no other replacement of the U.S. for one, so that would be one. And two, if the U.S. decided to try and dump the debt, the U.S. would print the money to buy the debt. They would create a floor, and so the dollar wouldn't collapse and the economy wouldn't collapse because we would just print the money to buy.
So we'll produce more money to pay a debt with the debt. That's what you're saying.
Yes, we would.
That would make that debt solvent.
Yes,
economic resets and quantitative easing, all of that. Yes.
So that's how we get what? That's how we get what?
Yeah. What's up? You want to keep talking, buddy? That's how you get inflation.
I'm not your buddy. You say that to go for people that are in fraternities. I'm not in the fraternity.
Hold on, fellas, brothers. Please, let's just try to keep it on the points that we're saying, not attack each other, please.
It'd be a better.
And the biggest reason that people rock with the U.S. is because of stability, which Trump is creating a lot of instability. His administration is creating a lot of instability, and that is causing issues.
Beautiful. I love it.
I like it when you're muted.
I want him to keep doing that.
We know you do. You do not rock with the U. We understand that you would like to see the U.S. fall for whatever reason. No. You can move to a different country, but you don't. You sit here, you hop on channels.
As long as my ancestors' blood and bones are in these soil, I'm gonna agitate and I'm going to advocate.
As long as their bones are in the soil, you should be trying to represent and pick up the nation to make
And
sure
what you need to do
that you represent.
is
Okay.
you need
What
to
else I
go
need to do?
join the military and put your loyalty on the line.
I'm already in the military.
Eat a man. Please get your uncle. Eat a man.
Yeah.
Get your
All right,
uncle,
hold on. That's not necessary. Hold on.
Damn.
Hold on.
Bruh, what are we doing?
With that old,
What are we
okay,
doing?
Hey, AR, am I mistaken,
okay,
or are
okay,
you
making
active
that
status?
Hold on. I can't.
No,
Hold on.
I did active for 5 years. I'm
Aaron,
reserves now.
Get
Yeah,
Aaron. Ask the question again, Aaron.
No, he answered it. Is his status active? And he said he's reservist. With former active status. It's like,
Yeah.
what? He's currently serving. He's a DOD employee. What are we talking about?
I've had discussions with Hotep like 3 different times, and I've told him I'm in the military. He just is too old to remember these conversations, and that's why I don't really entertain him.
Yeah, your blood equity
is about your damn military career. Nigga, if you in the military, you in the military.
Hotep, did you go to combat?
Hold on, those are irrelevant questions. Doesn't matter if you went to combat or not. All right, so let's get back to the I want to welcome Eda Man Williams into the conversation. Go ahead, Eda Man. You look beautiful, baby. I love your new dress. You're welcome.
Yeah,
You weren't talking to E, were you?
No, he's talking to his wife.
Oh,
I know y'all
Hello,
ain't.
baby girl.
That was just timing. My bad. Okay.
I know y'all ain't used to having beautiful women around y'all, so yeah, that might catch y'all off guard when they talk to women around them. But hey, no. So, the crazy part about it is that I never seen so many people want to sink the ship that they're on. Like the idea that we're not a part of America, right? Like this idea that we try to separate, even though we want all the benefits of America, we try to say, hey, you know what? We think the whole ship should go down, and I just think that's idiotic. To be honest, I think I think we will be fools as Americans to not want America to secede. And I hear
you're not no damn American.
Hold on, Hotep. We'll let y'all screaming out in a second. I got it, man. You finished? Or you good there?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to land it.
Okay.
Get his hormones out.
Hold on. Before Hotep goes, I want to also bring in artifacts into the conversation. Then we just have it right back open. Everybody could just join in, get in where you fit in. Go ahead, artifacts. What's your thoughts?
No, y'all can continue. I gotta still get my thoughts together.
Okay. Go ahead, KT to go.
Well, I was trying to respond to Hotep, but we ain't gonna go back there.
It's okay. You can respond to him. It's fine.
No, I'm definitely not. We're not doing that. Anyway, but either man, what I'm gonna say is, while I understand it, I disagree personally because I think it's also literally the definition of insanity. Do the same thing, you expect a different outcome. I get you saying like because we're geologically born here, we're Americans, but we don't really get the same benefits as most Americans, which is by majority white people. We don't get to live those same lives or have those same benefits. So if we're going to proceed in that system, I mean, I'm okay with the ship going down.
Okay, I want to understand what make you not American and what benefits you don't get being an American.
Okay.
Like I said, first of all, I know geologically, you can't deny what region area you're born in, right? So that nationality wise, I just have to be American. You feel me? We all are. Outside of that, I mean, I don't get the right to not look suspect, to not fit the description. You feel? I fit every description with the police.
How many times have you been stopped by the police recently?
Many times.
So you said you don't get the right to not fit every description as a police. Don't it make sense?
No, I said I don't have the right to not.
I just want to ask the full question because I don't fit every description of the police, and I'm a black man.
No, I said like with the police, I don't have the right to not fit the description.
No, the point that I'm saying
like I'm a
black
kid
man
with dreads. We're not a
fit
black
every
kid. I'm a black man
description.
with dreads, right? And they're gonna be like, yeah, it's a black guy with dreads. Doesn't matter what I do. Don't matter what I have. Don't matter if I'm with my kids sometimes.
Has it happened to you a lot in the past month?
No, what I'm saying is that
in the past month.
I mean, I live in
I'm
the
trying
South,
to help
though.
you understand is that because you're trying to make this a black thing, and I'm telling you, I'm a black man and I don't fit that description.
Yeah, okay. So that's the but
Yes,
let's be
you
frank.
do.
It's not saying that nobody doesn't get to do it, and I'm not saying that you haven't been unaffected by things. I'm
So
pretty
no,
sure you could say some things you've been affected by racially. However, I'm not. The point is the majority of us don't really get that benefit.
I don't think the
Most
majority
people.
of Black Americans have dreads. Have you looked in? Have you talked to a
I'm not
lawyer
even
about?
talking about just
Have
dreads.
you talked to a lawyer
Shoot,
about a civil
in
case for
North Carolina,
discrimination?
it's either dreads or cut. And either way, you fit the description.
Well, I live in North Carolina, and I haven't seen any random Black people being walked up to and saying, "Hey, you fit the description." Have you talked to your lawyer about a civil suit for discrimination if this happens so often?
See, you changing the topic, sir. That ain't got nothing. And if you're in North
No, it
Carolina,
do.
you
It do
telling me
got a
you
lot to
don't
do
know
with the
about
topic.
Lexington
It do got a
or
lot to do
any
with the
of
topic because you're
the
moving off your feelings, man.
many
This
racial
is
things
about
we have
a
there. Lexington, what about Thomasville police? Any of that? You know about any of that?
No, I don't live in those cities. I live around Raleigh
I don't
and
need
Charlotte.
it.
Okay,
I thought this was
so
a
why are
foreign
you bringing them
policy
up?
issue.
Huh?
I thought this was a foreign policy issue.
I agree, but I mean, he brought up the point of the boat going down and why am I okay with it? And I explained it, and now we're here.
Now
No,
we
I'm
can
okay,
okay
talk
with
okay.
about.
going
So
back
hold
to
on.
the
All right,
foreign
so let's go
policy and
through. We
all
can
that.
mine out the conversation. So, Aaron, so you believe that either man still fits the description that KT the Goat said? I think I heard you say that.
Well, he fits the description of a black man. I mean, unless he's telling me he
Okay.
fits the description of a Celtic woman or a Doberman, he fits the description of a black man. Now, the question is, are there other distinguishing factors that can separate him from a black man that we're currently looking for? But a black man saying he doesn't fit the description of a black man is a man that is that's the level of what man, that's synthetic. What you on is wow.
No, I
You
think
gotta get
Aaron,
that
I
out.
think you misunderstood what I said, Aaron. He said that with the police, when he started talking about dreads and looking like a criminal and all that stuff, when the police see me, they don't see that image. Like I'm pretty sure
Oh,
if
you're
Aaron,
talking
if you
about
show hold on,
stereotyping.
Aaron, let me finish my statement, sir. If you showed up looking like you looking in your picture, the police ain't gonna automatically say you fit the description of someone that's a threat to him. So like that's what I'm
Oh,
saying is
so
also how we
See
carry
me.
ourselves.
so stereotyping. All right, now it's different. When you say fit the description and leave it there, I'm thinking, well, if the description describes your ass, you fit it. But if that description creates a prejudgment or a stereotype, that's an issue. Okay, I'll concede to that.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about. Like, you can't take what I'm
Oh, and I
saying and
was
start
I was
bringing it up.
unclear.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
saying
I
but
you
was
he
hear
right.
what I'm saying, Aaron,
He
and
right
I'll tell you what K
because
to
I'm
Goat
saying
have
the
provided us
description
with
we
the
fit is a
information.
black
That's the
man.
point that I'm telling you. So what I'm telling you is when people say, "Hey, as a black man, I don't have the same rights," because he said rights. I don't have the same rights as other people. I said, what does that look like? And then when we start going down this rabbit hole talking about dreads and this, that, and third, and I'm like, I don't have that description that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. The
all right.
description you
See what
have is
I heard.
what Aaron said. It's a black man. That's what I'm talking about. We're black people. Everybody, we get in this on this panel hella times. You can look in this chat and girls gonna call hella niggas bandits and dumb because we niggas. Not even if they know us personally. They just don't like what you're saying, and that's what they automatically gonna cast on you. And it's nothing wrong with saying some things are stereotypes, right? Some things are fact. Even stereotypes, I keep it a bean with you. Stereotypes based on some type of realistic shit. Like most of the time, I'm not saying every last one of them, but yeah, like black people like chicken. It's not like I don't know how offended we can be here. You know what I'm
I
saying?
kind of
Like,
Yeah,
disagree. I
nah,
think I
But
think
nah,
most
everybody
cultures,
like
bro. I
chicken.
think
Why
yeah,
most
can't you
yeah.
like
cultures.
The
chicken
world,
too?
the world loves chicken, bro. The world loves chicken, bro. The
nah, for
world.
sure, but it's something about that Negro eating chicken.
Well,
Like, let's keep it a
But
watermelon.
bean.
that
That soul food.
Wow.
Hey, listen, soul
What
food
watermelon?
only a
I
thing in
personally
America,
hate the
baby.
shit.
And it
no,
ain't
but
coming
that
from
but
them
that
white
that's
folk.
no, but that's the crazy thing that I'm telling you is like everybody like chicken. Like you like if you go to country after country, and it could be not one black person in sight, and they still like chicken. So like
I
that's
ain't,
the
I ain't even debating that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not,
but no,
again,
but
like I
that's
said,
not the
some
point.
things
So
not even a stereotype, it's just a fact, right? Or based on something that's true. You can say that. Like, I know a lot of Mexicans that were fucked up driving. Like, I mean, stereotypes
what
exist.
I
No,
really
no, no,
want to
no,
get
no.
down
But
to
right
this.
there, hold on, real quick. Right there, what you said. Okay, Spanish. Boom. It's something called arroz pollo, which is chicken and rice.
Arroz con pollo, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, chicken and garlic can be
really
found
trying to
anywhere.
understand, because I want to understand from a Reich's point of view. So, as an American, because he said that he's not American because he don't have the same rights. That's what I'm trying to.
Nah, I said we not treated the same, like equally getting the same amount of treatment of the rights. Like it's not like we get to live the life as other people have in this country.
Is
Like,
that by choice though? Is that by choice, or is, I mean, I don't know about that.
yeah, I mean that.
I would say I
that's
live
even crazy.
pretty damn
Like, we all
good.
know it wasn't by choice, and we still just sitting here having to accept the sloppy seconds, and now we trying to fight for America. The
Who's
one that just
acceptance?
did that and
Speak for
told us like,
yourself.
No.
hey,
But
we let y'all
listen what
free.
he
Y'all
said.
got the
Hello.
same rights as
We
us now.
can't.
Y'all
Hold
good.
on. So when he said we can't live the life that other Americans live, what does that mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know no restrictions I have. I live great.
No, but no, he got to answer that question for us.
Listen,
What does that
we can
mean
play
that we can't live their life? Because
we can play the stupid game, bro. How many Black American billionaires are there?
They have.
I ain't worried about billionaires. I'm just saying, like, if you're
All right,
talking
man.
about
If y'all
living
saying
good,
we got the same opportunities, we make more, innovate more.
I've
this,
made
that, and the third.
everything
We should
that
have
I
more
have.
of them, right?
No, but the black
Bruh.
billionaire. Hello, the black billionaire is a bad argument because it's white billionaires and black billionaires. That means both of them had the opportunity to become billionaires.
Yeah,
I'll give you
who's
an
making more
anecdote.
things? Black folks or white folks? Let's be very honest here. I'm talking about like in American culture.
In America, we got billionaires in America.
Most American culture is basically Black history. It's not even American culture. All
I
forms
know
of
is-
music is some shit niggas made. We can prove it. They stole it, and now they say, "Oh, it's American."
That's a poor way to look at it, bro.
So shouldn't it be?
That's a poor way to look
I'm
at it
not even
because
gonna
Black
say
Americans,
but shouldn't it be?
Black
damn near
Americans
just
have
as
big
good?
influence on the world, bro. So that's a poor example of what you use. But I'm gonna use my own example. So me personally, I just think that you as a black man, most cultures should embrace you if you have some substance to go along with you. I think the problem with us as blacks, we come from a lack of knowledge. And so when you have a lack of knowledge, you're gonna say certain things, you're gonna do certain things that's out of the norm. But you got to be able to embrace certain cultures, man, and to be able to get that impact that America has for us. Because as we can see, Asians are thriving in America, Koreans are thriving in America.
They're Asian.
All type of cultures are thriving right here on the land that we come from. And so I think that was a poor excuse that you used. I think that we just come from a lack of knowledge, and we just lack the faith and belief in trying to get the knowledge that we need in order to capitalize on the resources that America has.
Two things
No,
I'll say.
no,
The
no,
Can I
first thing
say
I'm gonna
something?
say.
No, wait.
All right, hold on. Hold on. One mic.
1 second.
Aaron wanna jump in. Mr. Seven wanna jump in.
Nah, let
I
me
want him to
reply
jump
because
in.
he was talking to
And
me.
Go ahead, brother Aaron.
you'll be able to go ahead, Aaron, Mr. Seven, and then KT to go. Let's try to keep it that way. Go ahead.
What the last gentleman just said does make a lot of sense and it is a righteous statement. And in where it counts, I would agree. However, there's still a futile attempt to immerse yourself in other cultures, and there's no payout. And I can tell you anecdotally, I'm deeply wrapped up in the motorsports community, right? And I'm not talking about street drag racing and drifting. I'm talking about road circuits with very purpose-built high-end European sports cars. And in that arena, people and they either think I'm a part of like maintenance staff or a misplaced spectator. I have no idea what I'm doing. And like in some of these pre-race briefings, I ask very advanced questions about very advanced techniques, protocols, things like that. And the response I get 9 times out of 10 is, "That's out of your league. You're in over your head." Like their answers are very ABC, and I'm asking, advanced calculus and physics questions. And then when they see my big black ass out on the track destroy anything moving and come back, they go, "How did you do that? What's in your car?" Son, you had a 200 horsepower advantage. You have bigger tires, and I'm 150 pounds heavier than you, and I smoke you.
Check.
It doesn't work all the time. Trust me. There are communities where black people don't fit, even if you kick their ass.
Let me know where I can go when I can go, Sharon.
No, I'm done. That's it. That's it. I'm done.
I got you.
No.
The next person was Mr. 77, KT the GOAT, and Rahotep. You going after KT the GOAT, and then be open. I don't know who want to go after Hotep. Go ahead, Mr. 7.
I go after Hotep.
Okay.
I appreciate you. All right, so I wanted to just respond to my brother Afro Facts, and much respect to you and what you were saying as far as when you said there is a lack of knowledge. No, the fact is that we have been not able to tap back into what we originally already had. You're not going to tell me we build all kinds of things and been innovators forever and a day. No, what it is that we have chosen not to utilize the knowledge that has been around us forever and a day now. For whatever time period we've chose not to do it. So I just wanted to make sure that it's just, you know, the wording of it to me personally, right? I don't know who, if somebody can mute, I don't know who. All right. But like, all I'm saying to land it, and yeah, open up the floor, Sharon. No, it's not a lack of knowledge. We have all the information in the world. All the information in the world. There is nothing that is not at our fingertips. Okay. It's whether or not we choose to go ahead and pick back up what it is that we chose to put down once upon a time. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
I'm gonna piggyback off him a little bit first because I was gonna just answer you too, Art. But I was gonna say the other part of that is we're definitely smarter than our predecessors who were pretty successful. So I think saying we lack knowledge is kind of crazy. Secondly, I've already went through the difference between you saying like an Asian, the Koreans, and like everybody say that, but you don't notice the broad thing and difference is you don't have a motherland. You don't have nowhere to send your money. You make your American money as a Taiwanese person. You make your American money and send that shit back to Taiwan and live good in Taiwan. Like, you don't just stay in America for life. Even if somebody does, they probably still got a very close outset of family that comes here in the summer, maybe work with them, go back home, watch they shit that they done bought in they motherland.
What? Okay, keep going. What?
I believe Hotep was next guy. Hotep didn't eat a man. Go ahead.
He about to flip out.
I clearly understand what the brother said as far as the brother was talking about his skills in motorsports. And the example that he gave was a perfect example of how even when you have the knowledge, you outperform in all the different disciplines in any particular area of activity. They still question your intelligence or your reasoning for even being on the track or on the tarmac. Now, the question I have is that what rights do particularly white people, so-called white people, or white men have in America historically that they have and benefits they've been able to take full advantage of unrestricted in America, where they had to march, had to sing, had to plead, had to do any of those things to acquire those innate inherent rights based and enshrined in their constitution. Tell me one right or one civil rights organization that so-called white people have. I land.
The Revolutionary War was an entire war to get those rights, by the way.
No, let AR go. Let AR go right now.
No. We're gonna stay no. The Revolutionary goddamn war was the white folks against white folks.
You're muted,
so don't try that, AR.
God damn it. Hold on. All right, so I didn't realize I was I'll be trying to hold on. You want to answer his question, AR, before Eat a Man go?
I gotta go actually, probably after this. But yeah, his question was historically what rights have white people had to fight for. The Revolutionary War was a war to fight for the independence of a country because they felt like they were being subjugated by the crown and Britain. And then obviously the Civil War was over slavery, and that had a whole rights thing, the ownership or the property, blah, 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 all the stuff. So they also fought in that war, whether they fought whatever you want to say, what they fought specifically for, they still fought for certain rights to either not exist or to exist. So they have fought for that. But I gotta go. I appreciate your time, everybody. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Take care, AR. I'll play your hand for you.
Appreciate you, sir.
I just want
Go
to
ahead, go ahead, Eda, man.
I just want to address the elephant in the room. Like, see, it's funny that we want to blame it on everything else. It's funny, the people who have the highest marriage rates are typically the wealthiest. The people with the lowest marriage rate are typically the poorest. I just read a report last night that says that the Mexican households typically have more money today than black households, right? And what that comes down to is that we have to understand, for us to build wealth, we can't do it by ourselves as men. We have to do it together with women. And for some reason in the black culture, we have bought this thing that we don't need women, period, that we can do everything by ourselves. And I think that's a direct reflection when we start talking about the wealth gap.
Okay, and
I don't disagree, A. I don't disagree.
All right, and so also you'll be able to get a chance to jump in there right there. We got over 160 people collectively watching the show. Thank you from both sides. Everybody that's here, make sure you're hitting that like button and that share button. This is how we keep pushing out alternative media out there. And if you can, please send it down. I have alternative ways to super chat since we all know that I'm demonetized at this moment. So if you can support, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, and also you can do it by Stripe as well. These are all ways that we can help each other out. Hopefully we can keep it going. Hopefully I'm getting you through your work day or your whatever it is that you do. Hopefully I'm getting you through it. So go ahead. I believe somebody wanted to jump in. I think Art, maybe Aaron. Are we good right now?
I'm all set.
Go ahead, Aaron.
No, I'm all set, man. I'm chilling and listening.
Okay.
So I wanted to touch back on the foreign policy. On what y'all was talking about was about foreign relations. I just think as Americans, we just came from so much of a high from World War II. We dominated so much of the world that we lacked something, or we didn't take full advantage of what we accomplished during World War II. I think that's what the Republicans and Trump is trying to demonstrate, is that we can go back and make some corrections, because remember that when we dropped the atomic bomb, the Asians, like in 2 or 3 years, I believe the Asian economy went up and they became the third largest economy back in those days. Like right after we dropped the bomb, it took about 3-4 years, bro. Their economy became the third largest economy in the world.
We pump money into their economy. America
Understood, E. But that's what I'm saying. We made a mistake. After we did that, we didn't capitalize fully on the world stage, because we could have gained more resources for America. That's my opinion. I digress.
It wasn't about resources. You got to understand how America designed. America didn't want to start bringing that labor back to America. They always wanted a slave class. Like this idea that we still don't have, like when we start thinking about these factories overseas, that will still be considered a slave class. So we had to pump it back in there because we had already put.
So E, why
cost of labor?
Understood, but our economy is supposed to be a gain for our economy, though. That's what I'm saying. We giving all these. Okay.
It's not. It's not a gain.
It's a gain for our economy if we can go to China and get something pennies on the dollar that it would have been made in America. That's a gain.
Now listen what your ass said. You got to go all the way to China. Now, if you order it from China, import it from China, that's a different price. So either man, I don't know who you married to, or if you got a poodle or you got a dog that you carry in a wallet or purse, but you don't know what the hell you talking about.
So
what you think about that, Aaron?
I want to make sure, because I done heard him argue the other side of this. Are you saying that it's not a benefit for us importing things from China?
I'm saying that America is a consumer colony. Americans is lazy. They won't even go out there and pick the vegetables that former immigrants were picking lettuce rotting in the sun. Tomato, the price of goods.
My point. That means we're
see. This is the thing with you, Eater Man. This is the thing with you, Eater Man. You think you got some steak.
You say, hey,
think
we're
no, hold on.
lazy and
You
we
think
don't
you
have
got
to
some
do
steak
this.
in
That
America?
means that China is a benefit for us if they doing majority of this stuff for us.
But at what labor cost? If it's imported and the prices are paid by the American taxpayer after it's imported, how is that a benefit to us? Those jobs that even Clinton talked about under CAFTA and NAFTA, those damn jobs are never coming back. Most of the
all he's saying is
no, but you're talking 2 points. He's talking about back in World War II. In World War II, he said it was no benefit for us to rebuild these countries.
No. E, I didn't say it was no benefit. E, I didn't say it was no benefit.
These 2 things.
I didn't say it was no. I said, could we capitalize off of it more? I didn't say it was no benefit. Could we capitalize off of that, in which we did in World War II? Actually, could we have done it better?
But that's playing quarterback. Listen, that's the whole point I'm telling you. You playing quarterback. And any time in history, I can go back. Anytime in history, I can go back and say, hey, we could have did more. We could have got better. Like, listen, bro, that's always gonna be the case. It's always gonna be something we could have did better or got more of because we have the full picture now.
Okay, why didn't we go? Why didn't we get more of what the thing you're talking about? Why we didn't get more of the benefit of that?
We did, and we still are.
No, I'm not saying we as an I. I'm saying why didn't America? When I say I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about.
He's talking about America too. Everybody's talking about America. When
I'm
you
talking
say
about America, man. Okay, when I talk about America, I'm talking about the corporate state.
I'm talking about America when I said we are.
Hold on, brother. I'm talking about the military-industrial complex. I'm talking about black budget money that's skimmed off the top, money that is pumped into circulation that devalues all dollars that are in circulation. The fact that Congress does not control the purse. The international bankers control the purse of all economies, particularly dealing with the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. So stop talking about this like we got some decision in it and somebody's calling us up, asking us our goddamn opinion.
You don't tell me what pronouns to employ in my
I just told you.
I'm the author of my thoughts. When I express myself, I will do so using the vernacular syntax and lexicon of my choice. You are not a dictator of my use of language.
Hold on. Let me just hold that. First of all, you talking to Aaron. Aaron is not married to a white woman. You got that person confused.
I thought that was Eater Man. If that was Aaron,
Hold on, Ra. Hotep, Eater Man.
Aaron, I can at least apologize to him.
Hotep, hold on before you apologize. Also, Eater Man is not married to a white woman as well. So you got your facts.
Well, he married to a cow or a Chinese or goat or something. I don't know what he married to. But I can tell when a nigga don't cross the track.
Why you gotta talk about people? No. Why?
Because I wanted to. Because
why you gotta go at my man Aaron like that, bro?
I'm not talking to Aaron.
Hold on.
I'm not talking to Aaron.
Yo, listen. Hold on. We are all grown men. Hold on.
I'm talking to Eater Man.
Hotep, hold on. So again, if we're having Hotep, you're the oldest on the panel. If we are having a conversation, we should keep the conversation on the topic. You're one of the oldest people on the panel. You should be demonstrating that, not trying to insult somebody's choice of who they married or children and all these other things, these other factors that have nothing to do with the topic at hand. Let's get it together and let's show everybody else we can have conversations without throwing.
You're right.
But I don't. You're messing up my question.
Okay.
But
my question was a good question.
Okay. All right. So that's everybody. Let's get back to not attacking characters. Attack the points that we are having a conversation about, and this way we can have a good conversation.
So arts and facts. The whole point that I'm trying to help you understand is America became a superpower after the Second War. This idea that we didn't gain nothing or we didn't manifest greatness after this war It's all superficial. Over time, we lost a lot of power that we had. But after the war, if you study the war, America get what they want, how they want it, in whatever fashion they want it. And that was a fact.
Okay. Okay.
Right, man. You know what? I said that earlier about after the war, how, Britain was pretty much the guardian of the world, and the United States just kind of slid in that position, and in the other countries, they kind of went into, socialism and up holding up their social systems, and they didn't spend as much on military as the U.S. did. So you're right.
Nice. I love it.
So what happened?
What
I
after the
actually
war?
wanted
After
Aaron.
war?
Yeah.
All right.
In
So
regards to what?
let's take a look at how America has benefited between the war end of World War II and now. All right. First thing, strategically, bombing Japan immediately was the first and only time a nuclear warhead's been detonated in combat. So it gave the world a snapshot of what that looks like, and that's when the precedent was set that we should not do this again. And even still, we weren't really held accountable for that. Like, we didn't start a nuclear war. People were like, nah, that's some shit. We agree not to do it. Second thing is we got control of the Japanese territory and Okinawa, right? Military control. Now that's a strategic advantage when it comes time to taking Korea, which we have South Korea now, which puts North Korea, stay put, and China, right? The only thing China has near us is maybe a submarine and some real estate that we sold them, but we got guns on. But we actually have land masses near China, right? So as far as military strategy, it's a good location to be in. Also, it helps to have the Philippines, right? They don't have that over here. That's what Cuba was about. Russia was trying to get a hold of Cuba so that they could have a satellite location near us. We said, nope. Now, as far as economically, who are the best car makers in the world? Germans and Japan, right? They're the ones that we fought and destroyed, right? We got an army base in Germany, we got Marines, Navy, and Air Force in Japan, and they're making cars because they use their technological prowess to make cars and technology instead of weapons, right? They
So are
don't
they
do that
destroyed?
anymore, and we benefit from it because now that they have these companies making superior vehicles for the world, they're putting factories in America. There's a BMW plant in North Carolina. There's a Toyota factory, and I mean, there's more German and Japanese factories here than the American factories. The Ford Taurus was made in Canada, right? So we get the benefit of that, and then we export those vehicles. Second, and another thing, when the fuel crisis hit in the 70s, a lot of people think that Japanese cars were always a thing. No, they weren't. They weren't a thing until like the 70s and early 80s when there was a fuel crisis. Everybody wanted a small little car. If we didn't have our foot on Japan's nuts, that would have gone to someone else, right? And now everything is small Japanese because of the fuel crisis. That directly benefited America. Japan saw their best economy of all time in the 80s, and that shit tanked. We still survived, and we still buy their cars that we build, but they design them and then sell them to other countries. Chinese cars are in China. You don't see a Chinese car in America, but you'll see a Japanese car in China.
Is the Japanese car cheaper in Japan than it is in America?
Is a Japanese car cheaper in Japan than in America? Yes. It depends on if it was built there or here. And also, Japanese cars are held to a different standard. The EPA and the SEA in America holds it. So that's why certain cars can't be imported. The Skyline, we had to wait till that turned 25 years old before we can get it.
Yeah,
so it
I
also
agree
depends
with
on
a
the
lot
car
of
you're
what you said. I agree with
looking at. And they don't have premium brands. There's no such thing as Infiniti. They got Nissan and Nissan. We have Nissan and Infiniti. Over there, it's only Honda. We have Acura, but that's the benefit. Acura is an American brand of a car that is Japanese. But if you buy an Acura, that's an American car company.
Well, America, not we, but America is losing the financial war. They're losing the. They're gonna soon be offset by the military strategic geolocations on the planet, because a lot of these countries are going to kick U.S. bases out of their country.
Okay.
And second of all,
So
even
I doubt that. No, I doubt that,
Okay.
brother.
Let him just talk. He don't know
okay,
what
let's
he's
look at
talking
it.
about.
so
America's
there's a benefit.
economy. Wait, hold on. America's
I'm listening.
economy and stronghold is in its military, industrial, economical stronghold. But these countries are wiggling out of these spoken stricter stronghold that America has on them. China is one. Russia
How do you
definitely
think
one.
how
Even
do you think they
African
gonna
nations.
execute?
African nations are.
So how do you
Hotep,
think? How you think they
uh-huh.
gonna kick these military bases out of these countries?
Listen, is that Edom man speaking?
It doesn't matter. Just answer the question.
Well, no. No, I won't answer the question. You don't tell me who the hell I'm talking
Hotep,
to.
you
I'll
off
mute
point.
my mic.
Hotep, you off topic, Hotep, because we really talking about the economy aspect. When it
The
comes to war
military
and
industrial
when it
complex
comes to the
is a part of
military,
the
bro,
economy.
America's is number one, bro. When it comes
Money
to
is a part of the military.
bro, when it
Is a
comes
part
to
of the economy.
arms, military is number one. You need to get off of that topic, bro. We talking about economy, bro. We're talking about
So you
economy,
trying to
bro.
tell
Stick
me
to the topic.
military doesn't have anything with the economy? The expenditures that go to the Department of Defense has nothing to do with the currency in the economy? Is that what you're telling me?
So, Hotep, are you?
No, is that what you're telling? No, before you ask me a question, the person that made that statement, tell me that the military industrial complex and the funding that goes to
It
the Department
does,
of
but you
Defense.
need to stick to one topic instead of going all over the place, man. You need
Hell,
to
you
stick to
was
one
in
topic.
China, you was in the Korea, China, and
I never
military
was in
bases.
China, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about?
Oh, okay, so we calling names, huh? So we want to start. Wait. So we no. So we want to start cooning. We want to start coonology. We want to start cooning.
Man, E, you got an opinion, E? What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up, bro? Listen, the whole point that I'm telling you is that until we lose the world currency, the dollar is currently the world currency. Is it going to be that way forever?
It's not the world currency.
Okay. So what's the world currency?
Multiple currency. If you look at the New York Stock Exchange and you look at the Dow, the S&P 500, there's many currencies that float all through the economical global exchange rate that determines the value and the strength and the confidence of one's nation's currency.
Okay, and what you're saying is that has a trickle down effect onto our community as a black people. That's what you're saying.
That's how he's not saying none of that. Listen, he just like
I'm saying that has a trickle down effect on us as a people, and it has effect on the nation's strength of its dollar and the confidence in which we have as a people that use that currency for the exchange of goods and services, and the confidence we have in it. Money in and of itself does not exist.
No, you know what? You know why the American dollar is the standard on the exchange? And I'm not saying that.
Tell me why American dollar is worth $1. How much is $1 worth?
No. That's not.
No. Tell me what the value of $1 is.
That is crazy.
It depends. So to answer that is based on whatever you're willing to exchange me for it. That's what its value is, right?
And the
intrinsically, I agree. Money has no value. It is just notarized debt. But what I'm saying
thank you, sir.
Right? No, I know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, as far as the global exchange, right? There has to be a reference point that's used to juxtapose it against to determine the value of everything else. What I'm saying is, you don't need to be the most. You don't need to be the most valuable form of currency to be that thing.
That's true.
It's the American dollar is that because we are the world's biggest consumer.
I agree.
Correct.
So that is why the American dollar is the standard reference point that is used to determine where the exchange market is. If you compare the yen compared to the U.S. dollar, if you compare the yuan, if you compare the euro, if you compare the British pound. It's
Well, why
compared
do
to
they
the
want the
U.S.
gold?
dollar.
Why do
As a
they want
matter
the
of
gold
fact,
in
when they
Burkina
price silver and
Faso?
gold, what do they say?
Don't cut him
It's
off.
this many dollars per troy ounce. They don't say it's this much yen per troy ounce.
Why do
Even
they
if you
want the
go to
gold? Answer my question. Why do they want the
Don't cut
gold in
him off.
Burkina
Let him
Faso?
finish, man. Let him finish. He's gonna finish his thought.
You know the crazy part about it?
I was going into precious metals. I was getting ready to get into hard assets.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Gold does not back U.S. currency. But when you price gold, you price it based on U.S. currency. If you look at the hard asset exchange, no one prices gold at this many yen per ounce of gold, per gram out or whatever. If you look at the troy ounce of silver, it's always a certain amount of American dollars per troy ounce, and then you exchange it to other currencies. Can you use Japanese yen to buy silver? Yes, but the exchange rate is going to be based on the U.S. dollar and how the U.S. dollar is priced, set to price the silver. There is no exchange direct from the yen to silver.
Wow.
It's how
crazy,
strong is the yen
Aaron,
against
it's
the
crazy
dollar
that you
and
even
what
have
does
to.
silver cost in dollars.
Aaron, it's crazy that you even have to explain this. Like we all know that. Oh, that's crazy. But the whole point that I'm saying is that we still have power in America. This idea that hey, we don't got power. Everybody got more power than us. It's like a paper tiger. It's a made up boogeyman.
Yeah,
No, I don't
we got
disagree. I
power.
don't disagree.
It's compartmentalized, the power we have, so it's hard to really sum it up. And other places have a lot of power too. And that shit is compartmentalized and written in ways to where we can't tell for sure what they got. But we're not destitute.
Let me
And we
ask you
would have
guys a
to
question.
really shit the bed.
Well,
Huh?
Aaron,
Do
let
you
me ask you
think?
this question. I want to make sure I understand you. So you believe if China stops selling to America for whatever reason, do you think that their economy would collapse, and do you think that their people go without jobs? Would we see like the highest unemployment rate in China?
I think all of the above, man. I think there'd be a
Yep.
global
It happened already.
shuffling of the deck. Yeah, that's like saying what would happen if you
Yeah.
brought the moon close to the earth. It would be everything. Tidal waves, earthquakes, volcanoes, storms. It would be everything. Not just flooding. It would be everything you can imagine. It would be a systematic collapse globally. It'd be a shuffling of the economic deck.
And see, that's what I'm saying. In this economical system, we are the sun.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. This is
I
a
agree.
binary. This is a binary star system. On the east, you got
Gotcha.
China. On the west, you got America. China has Russia. We got Canada and Mexico. Europe is in the middle, trying to keep their shit together. They're so fragmented and
Makes sense.
compartmentalized. They're glad they're first world.
Me personally, though, I don't think that America always was the power struggle, was the actual military stronghold that we think we were. I think when it comes to when it comes to the weaponry, yes, we were always number one. But when it comes to the ground, we got to give it to China and Asia and certain Asian companies, Asia militaries, because their groundwork, the people and how they get their military people involved, I do think that they always had an advantage on the ground level. But when it
Well,
comes to
their
arms
strategy,
yes,
is shit. But we don't have enough bullets to hit everybody that they got. They got
And we
people.
don't have
We'll run
enough
out of
men.
bullets. We'd be throwing guns at them, and they still be sending people.
We don't have enough soldiers.
We ain't got enough rocks on the ground, right?
but
No.
that's
The
it's been that way.
The recruitment
Yeah.
numbers
Oh,
are so
always. You're right.
fat now. They're trying to pay people extra bonuses to join.
It's been that
all
way
branches.
since Genghis Khan.
Absolutely.
Genghis Khan started that, and it never went back.
Aaron, see,
Was Genghis Khan an army?
the most complex part about what you said, Aaron, their bodies couldn't even make it to America.
That's what I told you when we got the ocean. That's why America's the shit. Because we got the Atlantic, the Pacific, and mountain chains to disrupt transcontinental travel and rivers that we can use to our advantage. Exactly.
America
So what I'm
is
saying,
the shit.
I know for a fact
America
that we,
is the shit.
Hello, Aaron. Aaron, I just want you to understand. I know for a fact that
Negroes
we
is
could
crazy,
not
boy.
win. Hello, I know for a fact that we could not win a war in China. What I'm telling you is, it's impossible for us to lose a war in America.
Exactly.
Correct.
Wait. Somebody said it's impossible to lose a war in America.
Yeah.
If one of those countries, the Korean bloc, the Russian bloc, and the Asian Pacific bloc join together and invade
How are they
America.
gonna invade? No, stop right there. How would they invade?
Wait. One, because we got people like you, Eater Man.
No, you
Second of all,
missed it. Like
you're not a fighter.
You're trying to go back to insults, and now this
You
is,
never propelled out of C-130.
Okay, you don't know what I did.
Or Chinook helicopter.
I parachuted out of one.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Eater Man.
Don't
let
him get off the hook.
Eater Man.
He's trying to go somewhere else.
No. Let me tell you something, Eater Man. Let me tell you something about this.
Hotep, that would never happen, Hotep.
No, because now
Eater
this
Man.
is ignorance talking. Listen,
Eater Man.
the reason why Japan only attacked Hawaii.
Eater Man, you too soft.
What are we
you
talking
too
about?
soft. Eater Man, you're not in that equation. Eater Man, you're not in that equation. You're not in that equation, Eater Man. The Department of Defense or Congress haven't called you and asked you what do you want to do about weapons, munitions, and systems. They haven't called you and asked you a damn thing.
They called you. They said, "Hey, old nigga, let me call you and get your opinion." See, this is why we can't have these.
No, this is why my ad. This is why my ad. Oh,
let's be real, fellas.
This is.
Listen. Like I said, we get so derailed because we got people talking about America getting invaded, and then we ask them a simple question. How are they going to get invaded?
Let me ask you a question, sir, and I know you eat.
It's people like you.
Who controls the purse strings? Who controls the purse strings in America? Do Congress control the purse strings?
Now you want to talk about something else?
Yeah, no, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Y'all got let this old dude talk.
First of all, America and China will not be going to war no time soon. First of all, America and China will not be going to war anytime soon, bro.
Article 10, Section 8 and 9 of the Constitution states that only Congress can coin money and regulate the value thereof. When is the last time you know there's a 2/3 majority vote of currency? 1 cent, a half a cent, a penny in the U.S. Congress. When was the last time there was a vote on the currency? If Congress controls the purse string, anybody. When's the last time?
What's the point of the question?
What's the point of the
question is that the U.S. economy, which is everything within the country, is dependent on its ability to pay its bill, pay down its debt, and give confidence to the citizenry of its currency.
Okay.
That's the reason why we're having a lot of the problems that we have, even with other nations. So the last time Congress voted on the value of a dollar was in 1974, about 1974. We were already taking off the silver standard before that and the gold standard. At one time, you can get a dollar that says silver certificate or a dollar that said gold certificate. And you can go to a bank and change it for the value of the price of gold at that time that you wanted to redeem it.
Okay.
Everything that we have now, as far as dollars, what people call dollars or money, is nothing but debt being pumped in circulation and being extracted out through taxes in order to keep inflation in check.
But it's also backed by the people.
No, it's backed by the confidence that people have in the currency.
Correct, Sharon. Correct, Sharon.
Confidence, however you want to word it, but it's backed by the confidence in the people, just so we could just be on our line. So so the people, as long as the people believe in it, and then it doesn't need the gold backing behind it.
I think the whole concept of the conversation was that America does have a spending problem, bro. I think we all as Americans understand that. I don't know if that's what you're trying to get at with the conversation, but if that's the case, well, then you can say that America gave themselves a hell of an advantage for a long time to get here. And if you think about it, so you're basically saying that America, we're not even running our country the best that we can right now. Because if we did, we all would be financially free and we all would be rich at a certain level.
Yeah,
I guess that's what I'm getting for your conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not in control of constitutional currency. We're not in control of legal currency.
But what I'm saying is that America must have gave themselves a hell of an advantage for a long time then.
I agree.
If you're looking at it like that, we must have gave ourselves a hell of an advantage. So we're not if you look at it from an American aspect, then you can
Okay,
I
let me
kind of
ask
look
you
at
this
that both
question.
ways.
We
Go ahead.
both can land this plane together. It's co-pilot. Can the debt be paid off in full and settled in full? The U.S. debt, can it be paid off in full?
Me personally, I don't think it would end up being. I don't think it would end up being paid off. I think it would be an act of something that we
Thank you.
do for another country. It won't be an actual payoff something. It would be an exchange of a something. If
Yes.
it's called, you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because you can't pay a debt off with a debt. A debt can only be settled through a constitutional act based on real constitutional currency, based on Article 10, Section 8 and 9 of the Constitution, where it
Let
states
me ask
that
you a
only
question.
Congress can coin money and regulate the value thereof.
So let me ask you a
Congress is
question.
not
Do you think that?
regulating the value of currency. Central
So do
banks
you
are.
think that? Do you think that Congress should go back to the drawing board and figure out another currency evaluation? I guess.
I
Is
believe
that what you're saying?
I believe that as it stands now, because it hasn't been amended, that Congress should act and take its equal co-branch of governing and take control of the U.S. and the taxpayers' money that is on account based on what that provision gives the Constitution the authority to act upon. We already have it in place. They're not acting upon it.
Okay. All right, I got you. It's a good argument.
Okay. I didn't get your take on it yet, Hotep. Do you agree with how Donald Trump handled this whole Canada situation, and now Canada is trying to find ways to separate themselves from America? Do you agree with how Donald Trump pushed it?
Hell no.
All right, go ahead. Why? You said why? Because what?
I got a question when he done, Sharon. I never asked my question. I'm just waiting.
All right. Yeah,
I'm done. I don't agree that he did, and it's going to cause a boomerang effect on the American. It's already doing it on the American.
Okay, he probably got a phone call or something of that nature. Aaron, did you express why you agree or disagree with this whole new Canada position on trying to step away from America? Have you spoke on it yet?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I think it's unnecessary, and I think it's over exertion on Trump's part and an overreaction on behalf of Canada. I think what end up happening with Canada trying to make this Brexit move, which is essentially what it is they're going to put themselves in the position that Russia is with China. Russia still depends on China for military support, but they are in economic trouble with China. Their dollar, there's strained economic relations between Russia and China. A lot of people don't know that because the headlining news recently was Russia and Ukraine, Chinese giving them weapons, right? But that strategic is different, but it will put Canada in the same position. We'd be up in arms economically, but they'd still need us to take care of their military. They can't separate militarily. They ain't got it. What are they going to do? And we can't afford to let them, because then that will make our northern border vulnerable. You'll have to get down and lay down and let me protect your ass and cough up this protection money when I ask for it, and make sure you get to keep your beautiful Yukon countryside. By the way, I'm going to be checking on your shit every time I pass through here going to Alaska, which has a lot of oil and is about the size of a third of the United States anyway. And that benefits you because of the pipeline situation. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much of a mutual need for survival and protection shared between U.S. and Canada. It's just bickering. It's two powerful motherfuckers bitching and moaning. And if anything, it would just hurt the ability to play fair in the schoolyard. But for real, it ain't going down like that. It's splitting this hemisphere in half would weaken this side of it. China and Russia would see that, and China's not going to get in bed with Canada. They'll get in bed just far enough to make the split happen, and they'll leave their asses for dead. They'll go back to Russia and say, "Yo, look what I got over here. I got us a Vic." Ain't gonna happen. Not really.
So what is your thoughts when Trump says Canada is not resourceful?
Canada has resources. I don't know that they're resourceful in the sense that, I mean, they're strategic. I call them like a diet caffeine-free America. Like, we got a Ford plant, and, you know what I mean? The only Ford built in America is the Mustang, and what is it? Not Flint, that's the Corvette, Dearborn, right? But we got Fords built in Canada, but we got Toyotas built here. You know what I mean? I'm sure that was for some kind of economic advantage that Canada just couldn't see through. So are they resourceful in the way that they're cunning? No, but do they have resources? Yeah, of course they do. If there's oil in Alaska, there's oil in Canada. In fact, I know it. They got resources.
I like that. That was really good, Aaron. Again, Mr. 77, got action question.
My question dates back a little bit. Is that all right? I just want to make sure. All right. So to Brother Aaron and whoever else wants to answer. Yeah, matter of fact, Brother Hotep as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to include you in this one. I want to hear from Brother Aaron first. So I want to know, since we're so concerned about whatever it is the official language is supposed to be. Now, one thing that I know is that we as blacks here, us specifically, I want to know, what is the difference between black culture and American culture, and do black culture and American culture intertwine, or is it separate completely?
Yeah, all right. I'll take it inside out, which I think speaks to the answer.
Okay.
They are intertwined. They also are mutually dependent. You can't have one without the other. There would be no black culture if it weren't for an American culture. But American culture would not be what it is without black culture. It'd be something else. American culture, so much of it owes itself to black culture. Which came first? They came together in the sense that America, as we know it, began with our labor. And that labor was where our culture was born. Call and response, right? Jumping over the broom, all this kind of thing, right? But as that culture evolved and America evolved, America, you could say, appropriated, benefited from, adopted, assimilated into black culture as it evolved. And now today you have 70-year-old white women talking about she just got new bling. But black people don't eat no fucking cucumber sandwiches.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired, Sharon.
I like cucumber sandwiches with a nice herb butter. They're delicious, but you get my point.
Shit.
Hold on,
Brother
before you ask Hotep.
Yeah.
The Cash App, it said Diet Free America. That was a good one.
Diet caffeine free America. Yeah. Fat free. That's Canada.
Yeah, I mean, considering there's so much stuff in the water, there's so much stuff in the water. It's funny. I had a joke back in the day. I said, I'm going to invent the first label of diet water. Apparently, we really need to do that now. But anyway, Brother Hotep, without cussing me and everybody out while answering, can you tell me what your thoughts are? Just wondering.
You're on mute, by the way, Hotep, if you didn't know.
You want me to restate the question?
Can I just take another 15 seconds and just draw two?
I mean, he ain't talking.
Yeah, so let's just think about some things that are quintessential to Black American culture. Fried chicken, right? But do you know how the frying process got to our hands? That was Scottish. Scottish people fry everything. They fry spaghetti and meatballs. The fact that you bread something in flour and drop it in hot grease is Scottish. We got it and added African spices to it, which is why it tastes so daggone good.
No,
Same thing with the music. Same thing with music. Rock and roll came from jazz and blues. Jazz and blues was a bunch of African people being handed European instruments and making music. I
just want to know this, Aaron. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so actually thought about it. Now I've tried to look. I don't know. I think I've seen a few. But before the Colonel himself, which is the original, right, fried chicken.
Colonel Sanders, yep.
Did we have a face on it first, like an Uncle Ben or somebody that was the face of fried chicken? Did we have an Aunt Jemima of fried chicken before
No.
the Colonel?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. You see how we
yeah.
go ahead and
Yep. Yeah. And do you know what Colonel Sanders was? He owned a gas station. Never served in the military. The Kentucky Colonel. No, he wasn't even that. No. The Kentucky Colonel is a social rank. It's in a social, it's
damn
high society shit. He had a gas station, and people were coming through talking about they hungry. He said, "Are you hungry?"
No,
and he got this chicken recipe.
Wait. I think y'all missing it. Okay, let's slow it down, fellas, and let's tap in briefly. My point is, the point is in which I'm speaking on is, okay, so I'm gonna say it. Niggas love fried chicken so much. So is it because the white man handed it to us?
No, they love fried chicken.
Who was before
they love? No, we made it. Well, they made fried chicken. We made it delicious.
Okay.
Scottish people invented the frying chicken. They took
We got Famous Amos. We got Aunt Jemima. We got Miss Butterworth. We got Uncle Ben. We got our names out there. Yeah. Where is the Popeyes before KFC? And I'm talking about they got black and white pictures of this man in real life. Where is us with fried chicken before the white man gave it to us, American wise?
We don't have it.
Damn it! Thank you. Let's just be honest about it. We got to talk about that shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it was appropriated.
All right, Sharon. What are y'all talking about? Bring me up to speed.
American culture.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. The chicken was appropriated. Yeah. They took it and put a stamp on it.
Now teach me. Okay.
Because there was no face on it.
I had to break. I had some Mormons at my door. I sick my Rottweiler. I sick my Rottweiler on some Mormon.
Is there any culinary contribution Scotland makes? Scotch whiskey. That's it. Single malt. They're the ones that invented deep fry. They're the ones that invented deep frying, and they couldn't give it away.
I'm not dealing with no damn ish. Ish, Scottish, Danish, Swedish.
Brother Hotep. I want to see. Let's stay on course. So now that you're back, I want to ask you this question. Okay,
I'm not getting into fried chicken discussions. Go ahead.
Okay, no. We're not talking about fried chicken, Pops. Don't worry. So I want to ask you
about fried chicken for real.
All right, so Pops, I don't know how we got there. Only on Sharon show. But all right, so Pops, what is the difference between black culture in America and American culture? And do you believe that they are intertwined, or do you believe they are separate completely?
I believe they're intertwined and they're pseudo. Everything that the so-called former, the new everything that the made man that was made by another man is pseudo culture. But there's a lot of things that they have expressed in their culture that was derived and sampled from what we consider African culture or African traditions and African sound, kunga drums and so forth. But I think it's a mix of pseudo cultures that are infused together that people classify as American culture.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Welcome to the show. Good day, Supreme Goddess, PhD. But how you doing today? You can hear us? You're on mute. All right, while Diva get her microphone together. Going to. All right. While you get that, make sure y'all all hit the like button, hit that share button, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, Stripe, the new way how we trying to figure out ways where we could all get involved as much as I can. Appreciate every last one for hearing that like
Hey,
and that shit, and it really helps
Sharon,
out.
I want to say one thing real quick before I run to the fridge and grab a bottle of water. For the record, is one I love to look up the history of food. I'm not just a chef. I love looking it up. We did not start off frying chicken. Again, that's why I asked the question that I asked. No, if anything, our origination of it, if anything, is a rotisserie.
Yeah.
Burning around a flame. If anything, that is the origination of how we ate it, not fried in grease. I digress. My mic is muted.
No, you're right. Open flame roasting or stewing.
And don't forget how we used to take the neck off the chicken. We swung it around like a helicopter.
Oh, I step on his head and pull the body away. But yeah, that works.
Yeah, Art.
No, my thoughts are just thinking it from a historical aspect. I just think that a lot of Black young men, and specifically, they have to do their research on Black history in order to, I think, gain a certain confidence in themselves. Because if you don't know what your people have done throughout the earth, I think it's hard to establish yourself and to actually look at something that's relevant towards you. If that makes any sense. So the more I dug into American history, but also American history is tied in with Black history. You know, every war that America has been in, a Black man has fought in it. So we all have
Christmas static. Yep.
Absolutely. You know, Black people helped build the White House and the Washington Monument and things of that nature. So we have to believe that we are part of this nation, one way or another. However, how we choose to look at it, that's a different response. But the more you dig into your Black history, your Black relatives, the people that established a certain foundation, a certain legacy. No, they may have not left a recipe, a certain recipe, but they left a presence. They left a family legacy. That's something that you can also lean in towards to get your information as well.
Okay, I like that. And it's definitely something that we need to do more often. Let me see it. Diva, how's your microphone now? Let me see. Maybe I could take off from you. Let me see. I cannot. All right, while Diva get her microphone ready. Check 1, 2. What is this? Go ahead, Hotep.
Well, basically, that's why I try to pay homage and reference and bring reference to. See, brother, I was born in the late 50s. So a lot of what people talk about, they don't have a real reference point to it. I lived it. I've seen it. It was explained to me. It was demonstrated. So I have a reference point. And not saying that I know everything, but one thing I do know, that we have vested interest in these Americans. They owe us reparations. They have a bill that has interest, a cumulative compound interest on that bill, and they owe us, and that money is due us both compensatorily and retroactively.
What about
and I'll stand on that.
Okay, I like that. What is your thoughts, Artifacts? What is your thoughts on Donald Trump before I bring in Bob Cherry? What is your thoughts? How you doing, by the way, Bob Cherry? Everything's good? Check your microphone.
Mic check. You can hear me?
Yeah, you sound great. You sound beautiful. Good to hear from you. So, Artifacts, what is your thoughts on Donald Trump being the 2-time winner of the worst presidency in 100 days, 2 times in a row?
You hilarious, Sharon. Listen, man, my thoughts is I wanted him to win. I've been cheering on Trump actually before the 2016 election. And I just think me personally, we just need to shake up things, man. Me personally, I don't have no specific personal agenda. I'm young enough to believe that we need to see the forest from the trees. We need to see what's going to happen 2 years from now, instead of really worrying about what's going on now. Yes, it's an impact. Yes, the stock market is impacting with the tariffs, things of that nature. But we kind of gotta I think we need to agitate, certain countries. I think we need to see where they at, so we can kind of strategically build upon, what we working with. So to me, I don't have nothing wrong with it. I'm supporting them regardless. And you know, that's what I gotta
Wow.
say.
Okay,
Wow.
so you don't have no problem with him having 2 terms. The first term he had the worst 100 days in presidential approval rating, and then now his second term he outdid himself and has the worst presidential 100 days approval rating. He did it twice.
I actually don't look at it like that, Sharon. I look at it like this. He actually, the more you, because remember, the more you actually do, because remember, Obama really didn't do nothing his second term. If you look at the stats, if you actually look at, yes, he didn't do nothing his second term. If you look at the stats,
explain this to me.
everything he did, so it was based off of somebody else. It was either he signed something that Congress, either he signed the bill that Congress created, or he signed a special bill of rights. Listen, he didn't make a special bill to affect the American people. That's my opinion. So and then you got more
orders as well.
And then also
you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not.
And then also you got more, and then think about this: you got more to critique when it comes to Donald Trump because he got his hands on more things. He got his hands on more things than Obama ever did. Obama is famous for health Medicare, bro.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled.
Yeah, and I got my opinion, and I'm standing on my square. I'm standing there. Okay, what you got? I don't care what you got to say about me. Yes, I am. What are you talking about?
You talk about a felon.
Hold on, Hotep. Talk about his points, right? So,
I'm gonna talk about his points.
Okay, hold on.
The thing that I always ask.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
What about this right here? Artifacts. Obamacare was in his second term.
Facts.
You asking me the question?
I said he didn't do as much. He's not going to be able to do as much on his second term. That was one thing. What else, Sharon? It's one thing.
Okay, no, but you said so. But what I'm saying is that the most important thing that that Obama passed was in his second term. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, and he stood on that, and that was one thing and one thing only. America has different parts of it.
How many people did it help and impact?
All right, hold on.
How many people's lives did that?
Hold on with the question. Hold on.
Because to me, in foreign policy, he was terrible. But go ahead.
Diva got her microphone checked. Go ahead, Diva.
Hey y'all. Hey Bomb. No, I was just gonna ask if y'all hold on.
Hey Diva.
Where do people getting this information from?
All right. So he recently, yesterday, just signed an executive order doing away with disparate impact, which is a legal theory that's used for racial discrimination cases. It could be any type of discrimination. And so that theory made it where you didn't have to prove that the intent of the person, the employer, whoever, was to discriminate. And so he just got rid of that yesterday.
With a executive order?
Yes.
Yes, he did. I saw that. He did.
What's your thoughts on that, Art?
I got to do my research. So continue on.
Oh, got to go do his research.
So, all right, but what's your initial thought on him getting rid of the fact that you cannot, even if the person is blatantly discriminating against you, the executive order puts it in immediate law that you cannot sue for that at this moment? What is your thoughts on that? Because it's just
it's an executive. Yeah, it's just an executive order. That's what I think about it. So if I look at it, I'm only going to look at it from a certain perspective because a judge didn't make that law. So I'm thinking that it can be challenged. It can go to the Supreme Court.
But it can't be challenged by. So the problem is it can't be challenged by you. So if your employer, right, he says, "Hey, I don't give a fuck about your black ass and your Patriots hat. Get out of here. I'm gonna discriminate you on purpose. With your black ass." You are okay with that? That Donald Trump said, "Now you cannot have no say so about that."
Listen,
that's not typically how that's going to work, because if the employer is telling you with your black ass, then there's the intent there, right? And so typically how disparate impact works, it is what it sounds like, right? So groups are impacted differently. And so one of the ways this works, if we take the employment context, is, you apply for a job, they have you take some sort of assessment. And then what we find is that assessment disproportionately screens out members of a particular group, right? So if we're talking about Black people, then it screens out, a lot of Black people, a disproportionate number of Black people. Now, the thing is, he instructed the EEOC and the DOJ to stop pursuing those types of cases.
Yeah, those
right?
Those
and
cases.
so now, what do you do if you are on your job and you discriminated against in that way, or you have to take a test, you don't get the job, and you suspect the test has something to do with why you didn't get the job? Now you can't even go to the EEOC and have them pursue it for you. So I don't know if they're just like issuing out notices of right to sue or what.
This is a wrecking ball tactic to me. And all these executive orders, yes, they can be challenged with the Supreme Court and at the appellate courts. But and my question is this: is that to Afro Facts? Is that are you? Oh, okay. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Are you do you consider yourself to be a conservative or MAGA?
What? That's hilarious.
What is your? Yeah. Are you a conservative?
I consider myself an independent that leans towards conservatism.
Okay, so
yes,
on the conservative,
I'm not an extreme anything. I'm not an extreme anything, sir.
Okay, so I didn't say extreme. I'm saying in the area of conservatism, as you lean, when you lean, what are you trying to conserve? What is your political ideology, and what are the political base that you're trying to conserve? Because I always hear Black conservatives say, I'm a Black conservative, but they can never tell me what the hell they're trying to conserve.
The main thing is the American values. Yes, American values.
Okay, what are they?
Of all people?
No, just let them tell us what it is. Go ahead, tell us what they are, sir.
Ask me again. Say it again.
What's American values? Explain what that is.
Yeah.
American values is what is where you come from. It's your culture. It's what we believe in. It's how we was taught in schools coming up.
Values and culture are two different things. So now tell us what the values are.
Values and cultures go along with each other.
No,
values and culture go along with each other.
But if you're telling us that you're trying to conserve American values, values are a specific thing. And so tell us which values are those American values. Jesus.
Specifically, to me, I think you should.
Is it hard work, sir?
It's not hard work. It's not hard work. It's not hard work.
So then what is it?
No.
So then what are the values?
You give me one then, since you asking me. What is one?
You the one who said it, so I want you to explain what you said.
The belief in America, bro. Like the fact is, we separate ourselves so much from the fact that we come from this nation.
Afro, real quick. Watch this. All right.
Go ahead. Thank you.
We try to help. Okay, so when she asks you that question, so what would you say is American value system? Me, I would give one example directly, and I would say family structure and household. That would be something I would try to guess. You see, like try to narrow it down. And so rock out.
All right, the fact that entertainment is a part of American culture. You can go that fact. You can go that way.
But you said values, sir. You didn't say culture. And I just want you to tell us what American values refer to. Do you not know what a value is? Can somebody look at the definition and let him know what a value is?
Belief.
But you said American values, so it wouldn't be our personal beliefs. It would be the beliefs that are integrated into the society itself, right? And so the beliefs that you need to have in order to get ahead and things like that. And so what are those specific values that are a part of the American ethos? Come on, I really shouldn't have to do all this.
We're gonna go with family.
Can I give an example?
When we're talking to uneducated.
An idiot. I'm sorry.
Can I give an example?
Yes. Yes.
So, I would like to have a functional definition and not a damn example. A functional definition of American values. What is it? What?
Well, all right. So,
Okay.
yes.
I just wanted to say, if he says he believes in something, but he don't even know how to give an example of that in which he believes.
Okay.
Right.
I got us real quick. I got you, beloved. So, all right. So right here. Okay.
That's some disrespectful little motherfuckers, huh?
So a value system is a set. A value system.
I'm talking about this Mr. 77 dude. He don't look that young.
No, he
no. Yeah, I just turned 23 yesterday.
Yeah,
no, he probably older than that.
But what I'm saying is, I was speaking. You overspoke me and kind of just disregard what I said, and then you call me beloved. Like that's gonna clear it up, but you're only gonna piss me off more. So can you please stop being so disrespectful? That's it. I didn't disrespect you.
I apologize, beloved. Please forgive me. I calmed down. I want you to finish. And when she's done, Sharon, I would like to read the actual definition of a value system. Please forgive me, my elder. Rock out.
Okay. Go ahead. It's on you.
I probably said it too.
It's on me now? Okay, that was quick.
Condescending.
All right, Sharon, I love you, bro. All right, so look, right?
Condescending mofo.
All right, so look, right? A value system is a set of beliefs about what is important in life, guiding an individual's decisions and actions. It's a framework. It's a framework that helps people prioritize and make choices based on values. There you go. So now,
there you go, Arto. Now you know what the value is, right?
Yeah. Now you know that. So now that he read the value artifacts, what?
So a culture can be a value system, correct? A culture.
No. It's a byproduct. So to say valuing individual expression has led to the development of culture, opposite of what you would find in North Korea.
Right.
Valuing freedom of individual expression would create an environment for a culture to exist and evolve.
Right.
Yeah. But having culture is no value.
Right.
It's the
right,
result
because you can have a value system without culture.
Okay, one thing I do value from American culture is the laws and the freedoms that we have with freedom of speech.
That's not
I value. Yes, I value the Constitution of the United States of America. If that makes sense. Thank you. Go ahead.
Quote the preamble to the Constitution.
Yeah, Sharon. Let's try. Let me see.
I'm not going that deep into it. I value the Constitution. Thank you very much.
Hold on.
Yeah, Sharon, I got some questions too. Whenever.
All right. So here's the problem that we have. Right. So I think you probably overheard American values, but you never actually took the time to think about which one of the values that you actually agree with. So it sounds good when you just hear somebody say the great American values, right? But if you don't actually indulge in what these American values are and decide, do you agree with say there's 10 of them? I agree with 6 out of the 10. So therefore, I'm agree American values. PS Diva, American values, hard work, individualism, protests, work ethic, things like that. So that's what we was asking about your value system. Okay, go ahead, scam like. Oh, go ahead, Art.
No, go ahead. I have no response.
Okay, go ahead, scam likely, and we'll get you right in Hotep right after.
Artifacts, just a couple of questions. And I'm not really political, and I'm definitely not a blackity black.
Yes, you are.
Not even close.
Yes, you are.
But anyway, you said, I believe your words were, I don't see why people are worried about what's going on right now. We should just wait and see what happens 2 years from now.
Oh, sure.
Doesn't what goes on right now affect what happens and kind of tell you where you're going in 2 years?
Good question.
I specifically said that.
Yeah, you said it. You did. It was you. And the other question, because I'm almost scared of your answer.
No, but you did. Art, you did say that.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, let him go. I love it. Go ahead.
But I'm
do you want to answer it first?
I'm almost scared to hear his answer.
Go ahead. Let him finish. Let him finish what he was saying.
That's a lie when he said he's scared. That was being disingenuous. Rock out.
I know, right?
Yes, I am disingenuous.
Very
disingenuous. Okay, guys.
Absolutely. But the second question, I believe you said everything. Yeah, I value America and the values and the values, and it's about where we come from. Where do we come from in America?
Mm.
You said it. Where do we come from?
Right. Yeah.
You want to answer that one?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of us come from slavery.
A
A lot of our
goddamn bird
ancestors.
chirping. Whose bird is chirping?
A lot of our ancestors.
Damn bird.
You can't focus, OG. Pop, you
So,
can't.
God
No, I
damn,
just asked
bro.
whose bird is
hold on,
chirping.
hold on. I want to make sure I understood his answer. Your answer is where do we come from, and your answer is from slavery.
A lot of us do. It's out. Yes, our tradition from American standpoint. Yes, we come from a slave, of a slave. Yeah.
Okay,
You know what?
predating
It's cool.
slavery.
He just
Okay, but
admitted.
where's our
He
origin?
knew he was wrong.
Where's
He
our
admitted
origin?
it. I let it go.
That's
Cool.
not true.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
with
accept.
you on that.
But it's
Not all of us. Yes, not all of
But
us. Yeah.
he knows where I'm going with that. But he waved the flag. Cool.
Go ahead. What's your next one, Scam? That was you good right there?
That's pretty much it. Y'all can continue dusting on these fictional values that I ain't never seen.
I wanted to say something about these because he don't understand
I'll
what
be back later, actually.
conservative principles are, like what their values are, right? And how Trump is absolutely not for any of those things, right? Like the rule of law. We do believe in the Constitution, except Trump doesn't. He want to change it, right? The rule of law. Trump is a criminal, right? Peace. Like we believe in limited government, but he want to become a king. Like we could go on and on. You claim you're something that you're not. That's what's scary with you younger people, right? You're claiming something, but it's not you. And you claim
That's
you're
not true, man.
swear. So do you believe in the rule of law?
I believe in the governance of law. Listen, I believe in the governance of law. That's not true. Because you can say the same thing. We can say the same thing about the Democrats, man. We've leaned so much on that party for so long, but it doesn't bring
you right now. Do what you claim.
Yeah, and I'm telling you about me. I told you what it was.
What did you tell me? What are you talking about? I'm asking you
Calm down.
questions, and you. So I'm asking you. Do you?
You said that he want to be a king.
Yes.
You said you want to be a king in a. Go ahead.
I'm asking you about.
Let me try to ask him for you, Bob. Do you believe that Donald Trump is attempting to be a king with the things that he had put in place so far?
Absolutely not.
So what do you call?
He don't have the power to do it.
So
He
right,
can't do. He can't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Bob's saying he's attempting to change the Constitution, right? And this is why he has a hat that says what? Trump in 2028, correct?
Yeah, that's propaganda, brother. That's called propaganda.
So you saying that
that's what it is.
It's
to gain attention.
Okay, hold on. So who's pushing out the propaganda of the 2028?
Both sides are pushing out propaganda specifically. But in terms of the MAGA hat 2028,
right. So is Donald Trump?
I'm gonna answer it.
Is Donald Trump behind?
It's for supporters, bro. It's for more supporters to gain. It's more supporters. That's all it's for. It's for promotional reasons and propaganda. That's all that stuff is for. It's to get a reaction. It's to get a reaction. It's to get a reaction out of the Democrats, and also to gain attention towards conservative parties to bring people along towards the government.
I'm not a Democrat.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not a Democrat.
Hold on. So you're saying it's propaganda to make people believe in Donald Trump for 2028?
Yes.
So you saying he's a propagandist?
So that
listen,
means,
man. Everybody don't have the information. Everybody is not knowledgeable on politics. So you're going to get them by cult-like activities. You got to understand. It's the same thing the Democrats do. You lean on one specific thing, so you get all these people riled up, so you can make them feel a certain type of way. That's the same thing the Republicans doing.
Okay, so what? But he is propaganda to be reelected, correct? He's pushing out propaganda to get some people to.
You want to use that word? That's the word I use. It's promotion, media promotion, to get one side agitated and the other side to get involved. Because you got to remember, certain people don't really understand politics. Sharon,
so the campaigns that he's pushing out, you don't believe anything that he says.
What?
Do you believe the things that Donald Trump say?
Yes, I do.
All right, so why wouldn't you believe
But
that?
I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything, and I
didn't
think that
ask you
everything
about.
is not meant for everything. I don't
Okay.
believe that everything is not meant for you. So when it comes to the MAGA hat 2028, I understand that's for a bigger reason. It's not for us specifically that understand politics. It's for people that's just want to join a party because they're tired of the Democrats, basically.
So
Some people just join something just because they're tired of something else.
So now, if the propaganda works and he gets enough people behind him, do you think he will actually run for 2028 if he get enough people behind this fake propaganda?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, now let me step in here for a minute. So if you believe so, and that does happen, what act or amendment to the Constitution will need to be ratified in order for him to do that?
Why are you asking that question? For what reason? It's no
because you just said you believe so. You believe the propaganda. And if he get enough,
all right. So what is the purpose? Is 14 and 2, but
yeah, 14 and 22. Yeah.
Yes, I wanted him to answer. I don't want other adult to answer for an adult. If he claims to know all this stuff,
no, what I'm telling you, Ra, is that like him.
I'm not claiming to know anything. I'm giving you my opinion and from the information that I gather for the best of my ability. So if you're gonna go with that, because none of us got the.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to his ideology, not if he actually knows what it's taking. Because we know he doesn't understand. Most people don't know the exact amendments. Most people are not reading all the goddamn amendments. We know that. And it's okay that somebody don't know the exact amendment. Regardless, what I'm saying is that he said it's propaganda, promotion, and all these other things, and saying that it is fake. But he also just said that if he got enough people behind this fake propaganda, that he will actually attempt to run again for a third term. That is wild, Artifacts. You are back.
Yes, Sharon, my bad. I mean, that's just my opinion, sir. I hope it didn't offend you. I hope it didn't mess your day up. You know what I'm saying? It's just my thought and my opinion, sir. That's it.
No, but it's more than just your thought and opinion. You are going against American values that you said that you love. By you saying that you are willing to support Donald Trump in 2028, whether it's fake or real.
Yes, and I do think that.
Hold on. Let me finish. That is going against your own so-called American value system that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but then we say based on if he get enough votes. Didn't you say that, Sharon? Based on if he get enough votes.
Right.
Did you not say that?
So if he get enough, so if he get enough people behind him and say, yes, we are going to vote for Donald Trump to make these the proper amendments so he can run for 2028, you saying you will get behind that?
Listen, man, I'm not saying
no first before you tell me your
yes. I get behind
it. So now, how is that a part of American values if we have two-term presidents? That's a part of American values.
I didn't say it was a part of American values. That's two separate things. You said you gave me would he potentially run in 2028? That's a whole separate answer than American values. All right, that's a whole separate answer.
You mean separate question?
Right, separate question.
No, that's crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's wild. To hear somebody.
This is the reason why I go in. That's the reason why I go in on some of these brothers like this. That's the reason why I go in.
You don't want to hear me to talk, Hotep?
No, go ahead, brother. Do your thing. It's your panel, bro. I'll mute my mic. Go.
Good.
I'm just saying, people come on here, my opinion, I feel. Okay, a feeling and opinion is not fact, nor are they constitutional based on the Constitution.
And I think that the executive branch has a right to challenge the Constitution. And I think the executive, and I think the executive branch have a right to challenge the Constitution. That's my response. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, they have a right to petition the Constitution, but they don't have a right. They don't have a right to rewrite the Constitution.
Amend or ratify, yeah.
they have a right to ratify it, but that has to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. And there has to be a 2/3 majority of vote to make a ratification of any amendment or statute within the Constitution. You're coming on here, young man, with opinions. You're not speaking facts to anything. You're just saying, I feel, and my opinion is this. But you're not speaking to anything about the core values that you hold to be self-evident based on what you believe.
Okay.
Those
and also, your name, and
that's
also
too
your
different.
name is Facts at the end. Shout out to the Cash App. It said, "Where's the link, bro?" This is Sean M.
And Sharon, you lead with a bunch of feelings as well, sir. But go
I
ahead.
do not. No,
I digress. You
so
lead with
no.
a bunch of
Okay,
feelings,
so
sir.
give me.
But we're
Okay,
gonna leave it at that. Go ahead.
No, hold on. That's fine. You saying I lead with a bunch of feelings, even though you have no proof of it. Correct?
I have
Now
no.
he's
Go
going
ahead.
in on you, Sharon, personally.
Hold on. Let me try to have an understanding. So, what
Just
proof that
as
you
his
have?
ass.
What proof that you have that I'm leading off of feelings?
Everybody in this space know you lead with feelings, Sharon. Go ahead.
I understand that's the rhetoric that people say, right? And a lot of times people just regurgitate information that they
You're
hear.
not gonna get a response, Sharon. So go ahead to the next question, sir.
So then if you cannot prove a fact, then you should not say that I move off of feelings when you have no proof of it yourself.
Hey, that's
So,
my opinion, sir. I don't have
all right,
what I gotta prove. What I have. Go ahead.
so maybe if we educate him on the dangers of what he's proposing, that'll help change his perspective.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
So,
Thank you.
does the concept of precedent mean anything? All right,
Yes.
precedent establishes when something happens, you can use that as a reference point for other things to happen again, and decide whether those things are cool or not, should or shouldn't happen, right? So by changing, if he gets into a third term, no matter how he does it, it would set a precedent that could potentially lead to a dictatorship. Because what would stop someone from be the running mate of new presidents every election as their vice presidential running mate, and then once they're in office, the president steps down or something happens, whatever is needed to enact that vice presidential taking over, the vice presidential seat taking over. That one person being a perpetual running mate, now you have a situation where one person, 30 years, has been in the executive branch.
Yes, sir. And we would,
Because
and
that
even if they
precedent has
attempt to
been
do
set.
that,
It's a fail-safe to avoid that from happening. If you cut off any and all criteria that allow not a day longer than 2 consecutive or unconsecutive terms, period. There's no precedent where other things can be allowed to sneak in and loopholes, essentially.
I agree.
I appreciate
I don't disagree, and I want you to know too that I'm here to get educated as well. Because certain people up here act
Appreciate
like
it.
they know everything, and there's certain people up here act like they know everything when it's just not the truth, bro. It's just not the truth. We all can learn from each other, and so that's what we're here for. I don't think you just here to ramble on about what you know. You're here to gather information so you can go and study it yourself. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
100%. And what I just said, I'm not purporting to be fact, right? I'm no authority on the subject. It is speculation, but it's my understanding that these kinds of potentials can exist, and it's just something to think about when you formulate your opinions. That's all.
Gotcha.
I think that is crazy that you said we should be talking on facts and not feelings,
That's
and you
dangerous.
accuse me
That's
of
dangerous.
being in my feelings without a fact to back up.
That's
You
bold.
accusing me of being in my feelings. That is wild.
Sharon,
And we can't be double-minded like that just to believe what other people saying, whatever rhetoric, because you said other people say it, but it doesn't make it true because people just say it. Just like Donald Trump saying the things that he say, it doesn't make it true. We need to listen to understand each other, right? So the things that Donald Trump is doing, we can see what's going to happen 2 years down the line if he keep on doing what he's doing. As we see, other nations is bucking back. China is bucking back. Now we have Canada bucking back, so we could see the
and that's your opinion, Sharon.
So
That's
hold
your
on.
opinion.
So is my opinion that China's bucking back? Is my opinion that is it my opinion that China is bucking back with tariffs? Is that my opinion? Art, is that my opinion?
He's crying.
Yes.
How's that my opinion?
No, I'm listening. How am I crying, sir? You funny as hell.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Bro,
No, listen, we just having a.
So hold on.
Listen.
I'm asking you a question. Is China?
That's just my.
Me saying China is bucking back. Is that my feelings or is that what is happening?
I think it's more nuance to the situation at hand. But from your from your perspective, you may believe that China is bucking back, Sharon. And I don't knock your opinion. And you shouldn't knock mine. We should be able to come to a mutual disagreement and leave it at that, sir. That's it.
No, it's not it. So what I'm saying is that China putting reciprocal tariffs on America, is that not a version of bucking back? That's reciprocal. So you did something to them, they did something back. Is that not bucking back?
Could be, quite possibly, yeah.
What is your definition of bucking back?
A retaliatory tariff?
What is your definition of bucking back, Art? Art. This is wild that you're saying that this is an opinion. Art, you still there, Art? I want to make sure you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
There. Okay, so yeah, that's crazy that you think that this is an opinion. So Canada responding literally to Donald Trump and saying that we are not going to allow Donald Trump to do X, Y, and Z. And America, we are separating ties with America. Is that not Canada bucking back?
Yeah, I can say, yeah, that's Canada.
Okay,
so-called bucking back. That's their little, yeah, that's the way. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so now we know that I'm not talking off of feelings, correct? Or opinion.
Sharon, you're not gonna give me in no. Listen, to me, it's an opinion. To you, it's a. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. How is that an opinion if I'm saying what happened?
From an American standpoint, I don't think that we look at China we look at Canada as them bucking back, bro. It's them making a decision based off of a tariff that we put in place. Just how I look at it differently. That's it.
What you just don't like
it may be different wording. Exactly. I don't like the wording. Correct.
What's wrong with saying bucking back?
I don't like the wording. I said what I said, Sharon. Let's move on. I don't like the wording.
What does that mean?
Well, I think there's an opportunity here. Would you define bucking as posturing yourself to attack or to threaten?
Correct. I think it's positioning, Aaron. I think it's positioning.
Yeah, right.
I think it's
positioning. Right.
It was a response. It was a reaction to a response.
Okay,
that's the answer, That's
so the reaction, that's the back part in response to. And the bucking, whatever the reaction is a negative nature. They're not sending us a thank you card. They're sending us a warning. So it's a sophisticated. So yeah, I mean, I don't like bucking back either. I use slang, but I think
we can use bucking. We can use bucking. Yeah. I mean, I just think that's a little bit more offensive, Sharon. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, sir.
It is more crude. I'll give you that.
It's my last question. Okay, so hold on.
It's definitely more crude.
Okay, so you just don't like the word. So you would say that Canada is retaliating against America, then, right?
Perfect.
Just like the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
God damn.
That's bucking back.
It says, tell them.
I don't know where the youngsters come from. I don't know where the youngsters be coming from.
God damn, with the 20, I'm sorry, I was late. I'm seeing it.
Can I speak to the 3 terms?
I thought that was some wild semantics. It's $20 to bring artifacts back. Anybody in the closet want to attempt to bring, or Art, you can bring yourself back. I think that was wild semantics. I didn't understand the semantics on that at all.
In his defense, his name is Art of Facts.
Art told facts. Art
I
told.
mean,
that was wild.
he's consistent. If he's artful with the facts, makes sense to me.
Mr. Ron, I want to speak to that 3-term presidency propaganda.
Hold on, before we could talk to the 3-term presidency. Bomb, thank you for your patience. I had cut you off. You want to say anything, Bomb, and then we're gonna get into this 3-term president that I don't think is gonna happen. But go ahead, Bomb. I'm sorry for jumping in. You good, Bomb? I think Bomb is good right now. Her mic is muted. Yeah, that was just wild for me. Hotep, is that people keep trying to make it seem like emotional because somebody else said it, even though they have no proof behind. Like, you cannot, your last name cannot be facts, and you dealing with what other people's opinion of somebody else is. That's wild.
Yeah, you know, I know there's a lot of. Go ahead.
My bad. I'm out of here, man. Keep loving, keep learning. If you don't go when you want to go, when you do go, you're already gone. See y'all later.
All right, bro.
Go ahead.
But you know, it's just that, you know, the young brother. You know, see, the thing is, I don't believe this is my opinion. I don't believe Trump is going to be able to serve a full 4 years. I don't have no crystal ball. That's just a hunch that I have. But as far as 3 terms, that would put this country in such a constitutional crisis. To even if that was able to be accomplished, I truly believe civil war would break out. I really truly believe that. I truly believe that, because he doesn't understand. He believes things without being able to present even just small anecdotal facts about what the Constitution says, how it came into existence. And I noticed a lot of people been coming on the panel talking about you getting in your feelings. I noticed that a couple of times most recently, and I don't know what that's about.
Hotep, I don't know. My history doesn't prove what they're saying, so I don't know why they keep saying.
And I agree. You know, when you were on that other panel, I forgot that show. I don't like the way they did you, bro. And you was on Angry Man,
right?
Panel, and I was trying to get in at the back to come in and come to my brother aid, you know, because I didn't like the way they dismissed, muted your mic, cut you off, try to put words in your mouth and so forth. And I know that's his style, but he just didn't even like my name. And kick, you know, he show your face. So I clicked on for a minute and I was on the panel. And then next thing y'all know, I was kicked out of the room. But I was coming there to aid and abet my brother because I didn't like the disrespect that they displayed and showed against you, brother.
It's definitely a strange situation. I'm not sure why it happens so often. I believe it's because I can't articulate myself, to be honest with you. I think they don't like the fact that I can go down a straight line and talk about what I feeling, thinking at the time. And I could go in between my feelings and my thoughts. And sometimes people don't understand. So a lot of times your thoughts are your feelings.
And you do your best to moderate and be fair. And a purpose, I know I can wild out. I can blink out with no stars in the sky. You know that. But at the same time, you reel me back in. But I didn't like the way they treated you, bro, on that panel. You know, it was a little over the top, extraordinary, uncalled for. But you handled yourself. You didn't break down, start crying, and break down into a fit. You know, but nobody had to carry you out. You understand?
Right.
But I just didn't appreciate that. But I think a lot of these people that come on your panel recently are being dispatched to come to your platform to throw that out, to get you off your game. No, because when someone says you're in your feelings, you know, they're trying to say to me, what I interpret that as is you're feeling, you're hysterical. You're in your feminine, you're displaying your so I take great offense to that.
Yeah. But the thing is that they want me to try to get in my feelings about them saying I'm in my feelings.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's what they're attempting to do, to try to prove it. Like, see what you're doing right now. And in reality, I don't I do that. And when I just try to hold them to their thought pattern, I think sometimes they just get very defensive. I'm just trying to get them to understand what they are communicating. I think like Art, he didn't understand that at one token, he's saying that he want American values. And then 2 seconds later, he was against American values by saying Donald Trump pushing for a third term. If he get enough people behind it, he will be behind it as well. That is destroying one of our American values.
And then he said there's propaganda. They all use it. Then he canceled out propaganda.
Right. And this is the double-mindedness that sometimes we gotta pay attention to. Like, hey, no, this double-mindedness is not good for the American people. We need to be in understanding. Just like with this whole Shador thing, we all men should have been in one position and say, hey, this was wrong. We're supposed to be a country of merit, no matter what organization it is. It should be all about merit, right? And so we should just say, hey, I don't know if he's good, or all that other shit don't mean nothing. As of right now, as we know it, his stats prove that he is good enough to be at least a high number 2 pick. He should have been in that. They shouldn't have been trying to humble him through his father and all these other things. Just like how Donald Trump, he been preaching for the last 3 months to turn Canada into a 51st state. And now with him trying to preach that 51st state crap, what it did, it helped a candidate that is a liberal candidate that had no chance of winning in Canada. Absolutely. 3 months ago, he had no chance of winning in Canada. As soon as Donald Trump started speaking his 51st state and how they don't have resources and how they need to take over, they need to do initiation for Canada, all of a sudden that whole regime, whole Canada turned liberal.
Came to power.
And that's that's why we got the new prime minister that is there, which is a liberal prime minister. Right. And that's what these MAGA supporters need to understand, that you cannot wait 2 years. Waiting 2 years is not acceptable for a majority of people that sees what's going on.
Correct. Yeah.
So we want you to deal in facts, information as it is, whatever that information is. I don't care if Donald Trump does something good. If he does something good, I'm going to say, hey, that is a good decision that he made.
Correct.
If it's only one, then it's only one, whatever how many he makes. But if he makes a bad one, I'm going to be able to speak about that as well, because I'm dealing with the information, not my feelings on how I feel about that man. Because it doesn't matter how racist he is. If we had to find a way to put reparations in front of him and he was to sign it into law, hey, salute to him. He did something good for us.
Correct.
I don't care I don't care.
If he did that, I don't care how many damn executive orders he signed. But he signed.
I would still care about the other BS that he did. However, I would say that one thing that he did was great.
Yeah, right. And I would give him credit for it.
And I would give him credit for it. And that's what we need to start. This is what we need to get people to get out the double-mindedness and deal with information.
Yes, yes.
Not deal with your feelings about the information.
Yeah.
Not because your candidate didn't come up with it or he did come up with it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is it going to help the American people? Because the things that Donald Trump in the past 100 days, and it's also been proven with the American approval rating. It ain't just one poll of this approval rating. He broke the record. The first time he was the worst president in the first 100 days, according to the polls at that time. And again, at this time today, the polls, again, he is even worse than his first time. He got a lower ranking than his first time. So he broke the record twice.
Right.
And it's okay for us to just deal with that information and understand what does that mean. I don't understand why we got to sugarcoat information.
Yes, or deny the facts.
His name shouldn't be artifacts. It should be denying of facts.
Correct.
That should be your name. Your new name is now, for now on, your name is Deny of Facts. Not all of facts, Deny of Facts. That
He
should
might
be your
just
new
come back
name.
on because you said that.
and we're always open to hear people's thought path, but you're gonna have to substantiate. You cannot just say things.
Yeah,
and I
they
think that's
can't
the
just
main
come up
problem.
and
I think
saying shit, you know.
I think on most places, Hotep, is that they could just say things and they don't have to actually put anything behind it.
Correct. They don't have to back it up with the fact. I don't care if you go get. I carry, as I can show on the screen, I carry a hand pocket Constitution in my, just like if I have my wallet in my pocket. And in some areas, particularly in barbershops in certain areas, political discussion, sports, all that come on. But when they start talking political, see that's my arena. So I asked them something about the Constitution. They just say, it's like the Bible. I know it's in there. It's like in the Old Testament, or it's in the, but it's in there. But they don't know.
I would love to understand how I'm the one that's tap dancing when you are the one denying of facts that your man is pushing conservatism in a wrong direction. Because all the conservatives he affecting conservatism in Canada, Hotep.
Yes.
In another country, he made conservatives lose a position because of his position here, and all the remedial rhetoric that he's saying over here. He cost another country's election.
Yeah, he ran their ass. He caused the conservatives in Canada to be ran out into the Yukon. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? That's going to have effect in the United States. You watch. That's my prediction.
I'm just saying. So deny facts saying, hey, you need a healthy balance to the argument. Well, send somebody over here that could substantiate the argument, because we broke down your argument. You was in, I believe in the Constitution. I believe in American values, and then you went against the same American Constitution, that same American value, in 2.2 seconds.
Correct.
Falling behind Trump and his bull.
Right, because you don't have no integrity.
Exactly. Trump
and that's
is
supposed to be American value.
There hasn't been a history. There hasn't been a president in my researching history, or my history living, that has been as corrupt as ignorant. Trump don't even know the Constitution. He just says, "Can I do this?" If somebody said, "Yeah, Mr. President, you can do it," he'll just try to do it.
Yeah, he'll just write it.
Can I sign an executive order to do it? Yes, Mr. President.
I think they not really understand that he's not doing anything through the law. He's doing everything through executive order. While he does have the power to do such a thing, if it's an emergency.
Correct.
And he's declaring everything an emergency. So therefore, it ain't no such thing as emergency according to how he's moving, to be honest with you.
Correct. I agree.
Because the executive order is supposed to be an emergency. But I guarantee you this, none of these MAGA supporters is talking about how he's disrespecting these goddamn states that needs FEMA aid, because they are trying to say, hey, we need some federal aid. He ain't giving it. And these are some of these red states that he got a lot of support in.
Correct.
But they are suppressing that information. That is not getting out in the media, which I'm working on. But it's like I cannot juggle everything at on one situation. But he is denying red states of federal help.
Federal aid.
What a MAGA person is doing.
Right. But that's what he told them, right? That leave it to the states. The states need to take care of themselves. And now they voted for him. And now he said, oh, you had all them tornadoes? What you coming trying to get money from me? Do it yourself.
I told you got it, right? Go ahead.
Get out there and pick up that wood and chop them trees and saw them branches that's laying on your house. But see, another thing we can add to this is that he said that he liked dumb voters. But see, when they were at his rallies, they didn't know he was referring to them. You see. So right now, like you said, they're suppressing that in the media. They're losing their farms. They're running out of cows, goats, pigs, chickens, eggs.
Chuku need to hit the hit the link right now because I need to understand. I know he is somebody that is not afraid to hit the link.
Chuku he's been sent over here. If Chuku's in the chat,
I need to understand dispatched. What does this means.
He's been dispatched. Now he's another one.
Oh yeah, because they just say any goddamn thing.
I want to know what does this mean. Let me make sure the link is. Let me make
what
sure the link
this mean.
And a black man who said that American values, right? White people is white values, really, right? They want to go back. They want to go back to when America was great, and that's when they was getting free labor.
Ooh,
the free labor was done by black people.
Pre-1863.
Bar.
That's where they want to go.
That's where they want to go.
Pre-Emancipation Proclamation. That's where they want to go.
The thing is, we can never go back, right? Because technology and everything has changed. We're never gonna need coal, right? We're never gonna have that industrial explosion that happened back then because we've surpassed that, right? And Trump don't have any vision to even look at the future.
That's the thing that be killing me, Bomb, and he's proving it every single day that he doesn't have a true vision, and this is why he always got to backtrack. So like, oops, that's why he had to keep backtracking 3 different times on the tariff situation. Yeah, oops. Everybody like, hey, bro, this ain't it. Oops, my bad. And then now we're seeing this whole thing with Canada. This whole thing with Canada is another oops.
Yes. And he's had to make U-turns on all these tariff battles that he's put in motion. Trying to say, oh, that's what y'all gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna show you. Bam. Canada said, oh, you are? That's what you're gonna do? So we're gonna cut off the oil, we're gonna cut off the goddamn fresh water, we're gonna cut off anything we need to cut off. Matter of fact, first of all, we're gonna cut off these damn conservatives in Canada. We're gonna run their ass out of here and change the whole political landscape, which they did. And the prime minister that won the seat lit into Trump's ass like it wasn't nobody's business. He said, this is not going to be no 51 state of America.
That's it.
Not now, not ever, and definitely not on my watch.
And listen, if it was his plan to do all these things, then I guess he's doing the right thing, right? So the problem is the problem is that these MAGA people do not realize that it is hurting America, which is weird.
Correct.
Which
is directly hurting them.
They have so much investment in something that is, as we can see it as of right now, and for the foreseeable future as of right now, that this is not working.
No, it's not. It's not working. It
is no good outlook to this. This whole, hey, everything's going to turn around because we big bad America. People are not following it.
Yeah. Now they can see the blinders
crazy about it. This is this is so similar to these red pill dudes, for real. They like, hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta treat the woman like this. If you don't, even though the woman is not receptive to this treatment.
Correct.
And they keep trying to force me, no, you gotta do it this way, even though the other person is like, no, I don't want to. And they keep trying to force feed. They are doing it, and they are being very Shannon Sharp like. When she said no,
do you see what Flora put in there, right? She says, I'm happy he's getting illegals out of here who are criminals. First of all, he don't know if they're criminals, but he gonna come for you and your parents, right? Because anybody, as soon as he start heading for those Africans, right, girl, you gonna be out of here, and they gonna ask
with
you
no proof.
With no proof, girl.
With no proof.
I mean, you Africans are the motherfucking worst. You motherfucking Africans, right? Who over here with this bullshit? You the worst. And I can't wait till they knock on your door. If you give me your address, I'll call ICE on your ass.
Oh, Lord. But you know, like it just recently happened with I think Cubans. The Cubans in Florida, they recently, I believe 84 Cubans just recently got deported that was here for over 20 years. Wow. And this one dude, he is upset because him and his wife both voted for, I will vote for Donald Trump. Stick it together. I will vote for Donald Trump. And you know what happened? They knocked on that door.
Bo.